Boom. There it is. Live stream. We got Corey chilling.
Corey's in the house.
First guy in the chat.
We got Bo with us as one of our buddies here.
There it
He's
is.
hanging out for a little bit. He's
So
waiting for his car to get
Corey
fixed.
chilling.
Yeah, nothing else to do.
Corey's in the
Shit.
house.
Hang on, I got First an guy echo. in the
in
Sorry.
the
Let
chat.
me mute that real
There
quick.
you
There
go.
we go.
There
That's a
you
little
go.
better.
Damn, that,
We're like, what's going on there?
I can hear me.
Yeah, so we got Bo. I'm Johnny Doe. You got Jamie here.
That's me.
Yeah.
Rocking that merch, which you should totally buy.
Sporting the merch, bro.
shameless plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're all over the damn place now. Facebook, we got Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Patreon, Pornhub. Yo, new this week, we're on Spotify, motherfuckers. Dude, check that out.
Kaboom.
Damn.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're making that's the big leagues right there.
And that's what that like basically we're what is it? We're off of SoundCloud off of that? You were explaining it to me before. That's
yeah.
who's hosting it.
Yeah, so it's hosted at SoundCloud. I mean, really, for our viewers, it doesn't matter. Like, you
Right,
just
right.
go to fucking Spotify. And
Basically
type
said go fuck yourself right now.
it in. Yeah.
That's basically.
Yeah.
And I'm over here just saying dicks out for Harambe. So I mean, like, there's that.
just in general, just
Sure.
dick's out. My dick's out right now. You can't
I
tell.
mean,
but
yeah, you don't know.
I'm not even wearing pants.
Yeah, I think when Chris was on the podcast that we were talking about that too, like how he's like, I don't even have pants on under here, you guys.
That's awesome.
All right.
If you guys want a shirt like I'm wearing here, you can go to shop.spreadshirt.com/Grim86 and get yourself one.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, a little freedom. What's going on with Corey over there? I see he's blowing up our. Oh, there's Val. What up?
So,
Oh, there's Val. Yep. Okay. At least you guys were.
Oh, Steven's in the house.
At least you were
Oh,
warned about
shit.
episode 5 and 10, Corey.
fucker Steven was stalking me while I was at the gas station the other day, dude. Like sending me texts telling me to stop
Oh,
filling
yeah.
up gas tanks and
Yeah.
shit.
Val says cake farts.
Oh yeah.
That was a fucking good one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He was stalking you, sending you a text.
Yeah, hell
Steven
yeah.
was. Right on. I hung out with Steven all weekend, so we had 2 good days of parties.
That shit was hilarious.
It was. Yeah, you got to go
Sean's-
on the Saturday, yeah.
That was an expedition.
Yeah. It's funny, we just did a bonfire at our buddy's house, and like all the posts that Kenny and I put out with like the fire got like all these views and shit. We're like, okay, cool. So we'll have to do that maybe on actually one of these times on the Grim 86 Instagram or
if
Facebook.
we can get fucking Wi-Fi out there, we could just straight up do a live stream.
Oh, God.
that would be chaos.
It would be fucking hilarious.
It'd be awesome.
I mean, shit, your Instagram post looks like there's some, like, Bohemian Grove type dancing going on.
There
or
was,
something.
bro. Yeah, there was. I got a little half shirtless there, danced around the fire, got in touch with my male roots.
Nip slip or what?
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Dude,
remember.
That shit was so funny, dude.
That's debatable.
I was laughing. I was having a good time.
Yeah, Jamie's like, I never seen Johnny that drunk before. And I was like, it's because you don't hang out with me
Yeah, no
when I'm
shit.
drinking.
Ian says we need to get you to the beach so you can get a tan, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
Hashtag
What-
Casper.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Come on. Does anybody really know about that blackout drops?
Right? Yeah, no, they don't. They don't know about that. Yeah, I'm a vampire, so I don't really like the sun too much.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah, sure. What up, Ian? What up, bro?
Bruh.
So okay, we got a couple people in the chat here. Anybody got anything for us you want us to talk about? No, Val says she hadn't seen you that drunk either.
Yeah, right on.
That was awesome. I was
Yeah.
having a great time.
I was
though.
having fun, man. I wasn't even hungover the next day.
I mean, a little bit you were.
You weren't
said you were.
Mainly the day before I was hungover. Like,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
That day, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I feel like I drank because I only slept 3 hours.
That was hella funny. Sandy saw us. She's like, "You guys don't look like you were up all night drinking last night." We're like, "Yeah, well, we're pretty good at this."
Right,
So.
exactly, right. Yeah. Exactly. And shout out to Sandy. She gave us this little pirate thing for
Arr.
this episode of the live stream. Yeah, so a little internet pirating. So, Bo's all into the car scene and stuff, the
Yeah.
import car scene, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you want to talk about a little bit of that or anything? Anything stand out in your
Fuck
mind?
California smog laws. That's what
Yeah.
I think about.
Well,
that.
didn't they overturn?
Yeah, holy shit.
Not the smog. The exhaust one we were talking about. That's right.
Yeah, they're in the process of overturning the one where that it's not a fix-it ticket for a loud exhaust anymore. They
Right.
made it, so you actually could get state reffed, and you actually have to go spend a lot of more money.
Yeah.
Well, and there was recent legislation that was trying to revert that back so they could give out fix-its again.
Yes.
So they're basically trying to reverse the zero tolerance bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Which would be nice, but I mean, it would also be nice if we just didn't have any fucking legislation to begin with, which is kind of our fucking theme.
Also, another little thing is I was just looking at our monitor here, and we have green screen completely behind us now instead of those extra little black curtains on either side. So now it's all a green screen.
And we all fancy and shit.
And then we got new lights. Kenny got some lighting. They look like giant umbrellas glowing.
I'm just curious what truck they fell off of.
Right. And then our monitors are all in a different spot. So we're trying to get used to the new set.
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's cool though.
I'm digging it. Yeah. It's cool. It's gonna take me a second to realize that like I have
Ian says
I
it's
can't go
functional.
Up
your
to this one.
spoiler.
It's functional, yeah.
Hashtag functional.
Your wing is
So I watched a video one time that was this dude ripping around a track in like a what looked like probably like a Honda Civic hatchback.
Probably.
So, but it was in Japan, so who knows? Like if it was a Type R, if it had a B22 or something like that, something cool in it. But he was ripping around this corner when he had a wing. And they took the wing off, and he fucking did the same corner and flew off the fucking track. He's it's like a different car in a front-wheel drive. And so people are like, you got a front-wheel drive, but you got a wing on it? I'm like, no, it actually does make a fucking difference when you're going that fast.
It does. You don't have anything pushing that car down.
So it is functional, is what we're saying.
Yeah, it is functional. Like, I know Ian's just trying to be a dick, but I'm like, it is functional, though. Like, actually.
I'm not going to lie. I do use it as a table occasionally.
Sure. Hell yeah. Where else are you going to eat your ramen?
You got to go get your pizza. You got in the parking lot, and you need a table, bro.
Yeah. That was the first thing we told you, too. We were like, I'd use it as a table. Fuck
it's
it.
functional in more than one way.
Right? There you go.
That's all we need.
He's got a little set of disposable, like, forks and knives and shit tucked under there.
Yeah,
and
you
shit.
just pull them out.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. What was it? You wanted to bring up something. What was it?
Well, I was actually just reading that. I know Alabama is so popular right now.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, they also introduced another bill to make false rape allegations illegal.
So basically, if someone claims that they were assaulted or whatever sexually, that it's illegal if it's a false claim? Is that okay?
That you could actually do more time than if it's just a false police report, which nothing really usually happens.
Well, isn't it? Or like last time I checked, isn't it illegal to report a false crime?
Yes, but I don't think the penalty is that steep.
Yeah.
It's like defamation of character or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like you are slander, basically.
Isn't that
well, you could. Yeah, I think privately you would be able to sue them for that.
A civil suit,
but the actual law on the book would be like reporting a false crime type thing. Because I don't think that the slander
don't they hit you with like an
into
obstruction of justice or something like that?
That would be in the court end of it. Right?
Yeah, because you're taking resources away that could be used to actually fight crime. So they're like you're obstructing justice.
Yeah, you're taking stolen people's money away.
Yeah, you're using your stolen money for something that you decided you want to use it for.
Stealing the money that I stole.
Yeah, see, you get it. Taxation is theft.
Of course.
I'll drink to that.
That's just the thing that I fucking like. I have a problem with it. Like, you want to make something illegal? I'm like, I already don't agree with it. Don't care. Like, I already hate it.
The state's coming in there and
even so, like false allegations of rape. Obviously, yeah, that's fucking terrible.
Right.
But like, we don't need the fucking state to come in and say that we can't do that. Like, you should just not do that because you're not a piece of shit. I don't fucking understand how people don't fucking get that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we always talk about, like where we come from that philosophy perspective of what's right and wrong, not from the state having someone else come in and govern you, right? Because then if we're doing that, it's already immoral in the first sense that you have a government coming in at gunpoint forcing you to do something, right? Even if it's something like good, like we would say that that's more of a good thing, right? Like
sure, I can agree with that.
Yeah, sure. It's like, don't report a false fucking crime. Like that's crazy, right?
Don't ruin a guy's life. You know what
stepping
I mean?
above that, like still you're answering to a system that's being paid for by theft.
But I mean, this is also a byproduct of this trust all women, you know?
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, it is that, but then, like, how do you prove, like, so on what Bo's saying is, like, then how do you prove if it is a false accusation just as much as how do you prove if it's a crime? You still don't know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there needs to be evidence that this crime actually occurred. But as far as what they're doing now is, like, just because a woman says they're raped means they were, you know, and you're already condemned in the court of public opinion, which does, I mean,
Oh, it's happened a bunch of times in the media. I've seen it where they report something and they turn around. What was that? The lacrosse team thing? Got that.
Oh, yeah.
That's one that pops into mind. This
one
one lady like accused the whole team of doing it, and then it turned out later that she admitted it wasn't even true. But run all those kids' name through the mud, basically.
I like the one that stands out for me was that
Ian says tack.
That fucking that
Steve's
lady that was in a store and a little kid, his like backpack touched her. And she's like, "Oh my God, he this and he that, whatever."
Grab
and, like,
my butt or whatever.
Yeah, and he was like looking the other way, like it was on camera, and like someone's like, "Are we still gonna hashtag believe all women now?"
But
like,
you know
what
what it really is not to me it's not a sex thing like a male female or any of that, right?
Yeah.
To me it's just that whole like culture of like people wanting to control people, right? Like oh, my authority is better than yours. It's not, you know what I mean? Like that whole SJW mindset of.
I see that. I see what you mean, and I can agree because to me, what it looks like is something a little bit different. It just looks like everyone's trying to make a quick buck off of the state, because that's why I feel like people walk out into the middle of the fucking street without looking both ways, because no one, instead of having like a sense of self-preservation, you just think, well, if I walk out there and I get hit by a car, that guy owes me money. Like they don't care about the bodily harm that they will incur by getting hit by a fucking car. They just, all they see is a fucking dollar sign. You know what I mean? And it's kind of what it is. It's like I just see that it's like the same thing.
Yeah, Bo had to step away.
What's he doing?
He has his car in the the car in the shop, so he's
okay.
He has to call them back.
His baby.
Yeah, we're good.
His
we're
baby.
Good. Yeah, so he may have to leave, but that's okay. I feel like that's not a really big loss to the show.
You got to let me know, Bo, where you're getting your work done, because I really want to get my fucking neon fixed, dude. Like, real bad. I want to run it against yours and see what it does. I'm pretty sure yours is faster, but I want to see it. Yeah, God damn, I want that thing to run so bad.
Sent the video, what? Corey saying?
I think she really wanted someone to touch her. I seen that video with the lady with straight. Yeah, dude, fucking, it was weird. Like, she was just...
Attention whore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah. Well, everyone's always got to be a victim nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? That's the problem. You know, everyone is just like whatever they are, their race, their sexuality, their class, whatever it is, right? Like everyone's got to be a victim. It's like, how about just do your own shit?
It's a new culture. It really is, and it's unfortunately there's not very many people left over that are willing to be like. I don't want to use the word alpha, but it kind of is, though.
Yeah.
There's people that are out there that are like that are ambitious, that are go-getters, that like will put their best foot forward and kind of get at it, whatever it might be. And there are people that just fucking, oh, well, I can't because of this and because of this and because of this. It's like that whole fucking mentality. Like, I have friends that are like that, where it's like, man, like, if you just fucking sacked up for a minute and like just did what you know has to be done, like your life would be so much better. And it's just part of being a fucking adult. Like, we're in this weird culture where, like, hashtag adulting is a thing. You know what I mean? Like, people don't know.
That's just something that should happen, not that you need to hashtag
I know,
that,
but
right?
it's weird. And
I went to the grocery store, hashtag adulting.
Adulting.
Get the fuck out of here.
Paid my property taxes, hashtag adulting. No, you just do that now, asshole. Like, no one's going to fucking pat you on the back for doing shit that you're supposed to do. And we live in this weird society. See, I'm getting all fucking worked up.
That's all right. Do it.
We live in this society where doing anything that you might have seen your parents do fucking warrants some type of a pat on the back. And it's like, no, they did all that shit. You never fucking noticed. Why should I notice that you're doing it now?
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it fucking pisses me off. And don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm that I've never done that. Okay,
right.
But I don't fucking look for approval.
Yeah, or you're doing it more like I gotta go take the garbage out.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, it is what it is.
More so, I'm just pissed off at it than anything. Yeah. You know, it's not like, well, hey guys, like I went and took the garbage out. Like no one gives a shit. So did everyone else on my fucking block. You know,
you want a participation trophy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Pretty much, yes.
Exactly.
And it goes right back into we're in that whole cultural thing, you know, where everyone's got to be a winner, everyone's got to be equal.
See, that's bullshit because if everybody's special, no one is special.
Sure.
You know, I mean, why the hell am I? You don't win a fucking game, but you still get a trophy.
Right.
Get out of here with that bullshit. I mean,
everyone
earn nothing.
Everyone's agreeing with you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Corey says you hit it on the head. Ian says it's a victim mentality that everyone's stooped into. Corey's like, no kidding. Like, yeah, dude. Like, it really is. So you guys all watching, you kind of agree like with what we agree with because you guys obviously watch the show for a reason. So this is kind of like an echo chamber, I get. Sure. But it is what it is. Like, this is fucking cool. No one has to work for anything anymore, says Ian. Yeah, there's so many people. Like I've seen people out there that are on disability. They're basically just living off of the state because of something that happened to them a long time ago, or because they say that they have like social anxiety disorders or something like that, where they just can't work. It's like,
well, I think that a lot of times that it's that, definitely, I agree with that. But I also think that there's a lot of times where people just expect, you know what I mean? Like I expect the state to take care of me. I expect to get my college paid for. I expect to have health care. I expect to have Social Security. I expect to, you're expecting all these things, like, or like some way to like, okay, I get this discount on my house or on a car, or I get some kind of grant, or, they're always looking at like some kind of handout. And that's
something,
what, yeah. So it's beyond just that whole like, victim mentality thing. It's also like that entitlement mentality.
Absolutely.
It all goes, it just goes hand in hand. You know what I mean?
And I'll tell you this much too. There has been times where I've expected the state to take care of me when I was on unemployment, but you have to think I've been working since I was like 16.
You paid into that.
I've been paying into that. Yeah. Right. So if I was unemployed for 3 months, you know what I mean? I want my fucking money back so I can support myself while I'm looking for another job.
Well, yeah, and
I'm not just doing it indefinitely.
I mean, who wants to live off the bare minimum? I mean, I think this whole thing about living off the state is just people being fucking lazy.
Well, and I mean, and like if I'm being honest, like you can't live off of what the state gives you. Like I was working part-time and still receiving benefits from the state because I was not making enough. Right? So it wasn't, basically what I would do is while I was on unemployment, I would claim my earnings to the fucking state and they would give me less handout because I was making money, right? So during that time period, if I just didn't go to work, I would receive a larger paycheck from the state. So I see how people get stuck in that cycle where it's like, why even try then?
Yeah, I've known a lot of people that get stuck in that.
And it's
a lot
so
of people.
shitty. I'll be honest, this is a time when I worked at a shitty job. Like I hated it. But I still aspired to go out and find a different job that I did like because I knew that what I was doing was wrong. Like you can't live like that. You can't just not do anything. You have to do something. And so I found something that I wanted to do better than what I was doing, and then eventually I started making bigger paychecks, and every time I would write in what I was earning, they would send me less money until eventually they just stopped sending me money because I was actually making more than they were going to send me. So that's how it stops.
And to piggyback off what you just actually talked about, you aspired to have a better job. But I think a lot of it nowadays is people, as you said, are entitled and they don't want to accept that minimum wage McDonald's job or whatever. They want to jump into this high-paying job without even working for it.
Yeah, you got to build your way up, basically.
Yeah.
Shit, Ian just said something. He said, "Hi, I'm fat and can't work because my parents didn't love me." Like straight up, dude. Holy shit.
Wait, you can get disability if you're fat?
I'm pretty sure.
I think you can.
If you can't fucking move because you're so
you have to go to the doctor.
Oh,
and
you
all
got to
that,
be that fat though.
Well, I mean, probably. If your doctor says that it's medically bad for you to move, yeah, probably. You know what I mean? Like, you have to start off.
So
with
on a slightly different thing with like the unemployment and stuff like that. Also, if you're being physically responsible and you're not worrying about the state, right? Because we're also talking about that in the context of what we're dealing with in today's society and today's system of government, right? But outside of that, like you could actually just save up money and have your own account. You would probably be able to have different like insurance or like some kind of plan that you'd be like, okay, well, I'm putting a little bit money in this if I ever get laid off. If it doesn't go to that, it'll bounce into my retirement. But you can do it all privately. So don't get wrong that we're like saying something about like, oh, we paid into it, so therefore we need it. We're just saying that that's what's there. So they're using it, right? Like that's what...
Well, and the thing is like, yeah, I've been paying into it, but guess what? Like, if I wasn't unemployed, I would never get to use it. It just goes to somebody else.
And that happens a lot of times. Or some people, they'll be in between jobs for like a couple weeks and they don't file for it. So
Right. Yeah. But other than that,
you're paying into a black hole.
I'm paying into the fucking collective is what I'm paying into.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
if I'm never unemployed or I'm never at a point where I'm not generating any type of income, I don't ever get the benefit of that. I'm just giving money away to the fucking collective.
Well, unemployment and Social Security is like the same concept, basically. It's like, yeah, you're paying into it, and it's not voluntary. We're just being forced to do it. So if you want to come and collect from it, it's like, okay, I ain't like gonna hate on it. I don't agree with that we should even be doing that in the first place, is more what I'm trying to,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. If there was a fucking tick box next to my fucking paycheck.
The owner
where
should
I
supply.
could put
right.
in, you know what I mean, or my employer, whatever.
Right.
They're like, we give you these options that you can choose them or you cannot. And I'd be like, well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
If I ever want it, if I ever need that money. But I also think that it should be personal accounts too. I don't think I should be paying into a collective. I think I should be paying into an account that only benefits me.
Yeah, the Jamie fund.
Exactly.
Not the everyone fund.
Well,
exactly.
See, the problem with that is then
like a 401k, right? Like a 401k, but for unemployment.
Yeah,
basically.
for you.
The problem I can see with that is then because do you get more Social Security the more you work, or is it all equal? Is my question. I guess.
think it depends on how much money you make, right?
How much you
yeah,
put
that's
in.
what it is.
It does?
Hours.
Okay.
I think it's hours and money, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm not-
Corey Affleck is kind of like gap insurance.
Affleck.
Like gap insurance, but health insurance. It's so if you don't have health, I think it's like if you don't have health insurance, you can pay them and they will take care of some of your medical expenses.
But nonetheless, you're right though. It's like it's insurance, right? It could be.
But it is.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
insurance.
it could be any company, right? Like, because it doesn't exist. Like, all these things that we talk about, like, they don't all necessarily exist now. And that's some of that isn't just. It's not free market. The reason why it doesn't exist is because there's laws on the books that prevent a lot of that stuff from happening. You know what I mean? That's a lot of it right there. Or why would we have that if we already have Social Security or we have unemployment, right?
Yeah, and he says it depends on how much you make.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we know where he lives? Does he live anywhere near us?
He's in Cali.
Corey, can you give us like a general area of where you are? You don't have to tell us the city if you don't want to, but
I know.
Oh, you do know? Okay. I want to have a fucking beer with this guy.
Yeah,
dude. Awesome.
We'll make it happen. I know. Remember, what's his name? Aaron was saying that I'm gonna come hang out with him or whatever like that on our last podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we'll figure it out. And we're supposed to be throwing a party here pretty soon, so we got to plan that out. So you'll be invited to that. What do you guys think about? Yeah, exactly. SAC. Okay. Yeah. So what do you call it? You guys interested in doing a little Grim 86 party here? Coming up soon?
Fuck yeah, I am. Well, okay. So this next weekend, I'm going clamping. Weekend after that, I got plans. So maybe in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll plan it like a month out. You know what I mean? Like we'll get a plan for it, and then we'll invite the core group of freedom
You want to
fighters.
do it here?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk. But just seeing, you know.
No, I'm ready, dude.
Steven says hell yeah. Well, you know Steven's down.
When is Steven not down to drink?
Yeah, right. Party,
dude,
bro.
I'd be fucking ready to rock and roll. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to get more shirts. We all have to be wearing a fucking Grim 86 shirt.
Yeah, we all have to buy shirts.
Straight up.
Guess I might have to buy one when I get my first paycheck.
There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bo got a new job. So
Yeah.
that's
Attaboy.
a new development.
And that actually goes along with what we're talking about.
Yeah, you got late.
I did not file for unemployment.
Right,
I actually got a new job the day after I got fired.
Within a week and a half, you said you're already back working. and
Exactly.
shit, so.
Way to go, dude. Yeah. What are you doing now? If you don't mind sharing.
Same thing. Security, just different company.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Bo is also one of the guys that did security with me in the bars. So when you've heard me a very few times talk about that, he was one of my guys.
Yeah.
Do you have a Grim 86 tattoo?
I do.
He does. He has
I do.
Got the Reaper?
Where is it? I got to turn that way.
I have a long sleeve shirt on now, but
it's kind of like a bomber art.
It's actually right in here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I earned my shit.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
You
did. Steven says, God damn it, Bo, stop being fired.
Fucking, that was nice. That was a good
Steven,
one.
I love you, though.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, Corey's going to order his shirt this weekend.
Right on.
He said, drive wherever you guys are.
What are you looking at getting?
Hanging out with everyone. Dude, he wants to
You gonna go with the Reaper
out.
shirt, or you want to go with the Jamie one right there? We're calling it the Jamie one for now.
Sure.
Because he's rocking it.
Because I'm rocking it.
You drew it.
Yeah, do you know which
There's
one
that.
you want, Corey? Which shirt you're going to get?
I'm going to grab a water. I'll be back.
Okay. So it looks like I'm going to be here for the duration because they got the damn wrong part for my car and it won't be here till noon tomorrow.
Oh, weak.
So I will be Ubering home.
What part do they need?
The wheel hub.
Did you start to get that where your wheel was binding
muffler
up?
bearing.
Muffler bearing, yeah.
They had to replace my blinker fluid.
Blinker fluid, yeah.
No,
did you start? Because I used to have on my car. What ended up happening was I was driving down the road and all of a sudden it started making like a hum, and I was like, "What the fuck is this noise?" And they tried to tell me that my tires were cupping. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Where like the treads start to like pop up, and so it's making like a noise, like
kind of like when you
truck.
cup someone's balls.
Yeah, right in the balls. Yeah, yeah. No. So what?
I know our viewers don't know a lot about cars, so we're just trying to we're trying to help
just
you
put
guys
it this
out.
way: newer cars kind of suck with all electronics because what actually I noticed, my car started accelerating out of nowhere. Traction control would come on. The anti-lock brakes would activate every once in a while.
Okay.
So basically, what was happening?
Fucking
is,
CIA hacked your shit.
Yeah. Basically, what happening since my wheel wasn't spinning perfectly round because of the hub bearing, the ABS wasn't and speed sensor wasn't reading correctly. So it's causing all kinds of weird shit going
Corey
on.
says he's getting one of each. Come on.
Oh.
He's going to get his wife one too.
No.
Right on.
Val says she loves hers and she wants to get the debatable and the science. The hashtags.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when does the I'm the victim shirt come out?
We haven't pushed the I'm the victim as much. That's been on a few of the shows, though.
I need that shirt.
I'll have to bring that back up some more. Make it a thing again.
That would be fucking awesome.
And if you guys are there right now watching us, thumbs up our video to help push it out there so more people know. Leave some comments. Keep up the chat, guys. And you guys got any questions? Go for it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna actually post this on Facebook real quick because just to see.
See if anybody actually cares.
Yeah, see if anyone gives a shit.
We know the answer. No.
Nope.
That would require free thinking.
We got a squad of freedom fighters. We need to get that into a platoon and then keep going from there.
Get a standing army.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Jamie's got it up.
All right, let's do it.
The hell is that guy?
I don't
That's
know.
Brock Turner.
Oh yeah,
That
guy.
fucking piece of shit.
I was going to say he doesn't even look like that professional wrestler anymore because I thought it was Brock Lesnar for a second.
No.
He lost a lot of weight.
Totally other guy. Totally other guy.
I actually lost a lot of Facebook friends over that guy.
Over Brock Turner?
Yeah, Bo, he puts out stuff and he doesn't give a fuck. And
I
then,
don't give a
yeah,
shit.
He
Well,
loses a lot
my
of-
point was so if both parties are drunk, who's the one that's at fault?
Right. I don't really know that much about that story.
He was drunk. She was drunk. He was taking advantage of her behind a dumpster.
I did hear about that.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Those are the ones that if you don't have proof, I don't know either way.
This is just like the fucking Brett Kavanaugh thing.
Yeah.
This is one I literally lost real life friends over, or at least one, because I was like, if you don't remember anything, why are you credible? And then they're like, I can't believe you'd fucking say that. And I'm like, he's like, you support Donald Trump, and I'm like, what?
What?
Where did that come from, right?
Yeah, what the shit is this?
Yeah.
No, if you don't agree with anything anybody says, you're a Trump supporter.
Well, what we always try to say is that, you got to think. You know what I mean? You take your emotions out of it, and then you think about each thing. Now, do we want someone to be assaulted or whatever? No.
Hell no.
But we're
Fuck
just
no.
saying think about it first. And you can't trust either side of the aisle reporting it
No.
in the media.
No. Well, okay,
I don't
so
trust nothing they say.
we have one lady saying this happened. We have a guy saying it didn't happen. We're trying to ask her specific information about the incident, and she can't give you any of it.
Yeah. That's,
Other than it happened. Well, I mean, come on, man. So I had $1 million in my checking account yesterday, and it's not there. So somebody owes me $1 million fucking dollars. You know what I mean? What the fuck?
Yeah.
well, and see, I actually
Can I see your statement?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
you
right.
just can't.
You
I just
can't
want
prove-
my $1 million back. Go fuck yourself.
Well, and if you actually look at one of the other accusers, supposedly she was going to these parties that she knew that girls were getting drugged and raped, but she kept going back to these parties until it happened to her.
And then
I'm
who
like-
who knows if
really?
he was even involved in that part?
Yeah.
But the party could have had
And-
that too.
right.
But whatever.
And
I
who
mean,
knows if that was... And, here's the thing. What if it was just one of those things where they were just doing drugs at a party? They weren't, drugging people? What if it was all
Yeah.
voluntary?
They overdosed or whatever.
Yeah,
you
got
They
too
thought
fucking
they got-
hammered or
yeah,
something,
Exactly.
you know
Who
what I mean?
knows? We don't know.
She felt left out. I don't know.
Yeah. These are those stories that I always file under highly uninteresting.
Yeah.
Just to me,
because
I
we
don't-
can't... It's hard to form
we
an
can't
opinion.
do anything about
Yeah,
it.
you can't...
It's
hard
all
to-
hearsay, right?
It is all hearsay.
Well,
And then
that-
it goes
that-
back into the SJW stuff and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
crap we were just talking about. It's just I'm the victim. I'm always,
That's my thing. There's so if both parties are drunk, is it the person that reports it first is the one that got raped? I mean,
I only go to drunk parties.
I know.
I only go to parties
I
drunk.
mean, and actually have
Yeah,
a
right?
I would love to see a guy actually try to be I was drunk, she raped me, and see him actually not get laughed at. Because it's a double standard.
Well, here's the thing about the male rape thing is that it's very highly unlikely most of the time for a female to take advantage of a guy. It's usually when that happens, it's another guy.
Or they're underage
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
it's
be a
either
different thing.
statutory or it's another guy. Like it really is guy on guy.
It's weird. I pay to get raped all the time. Is that still relevant?
Well, it's not rape if it's voluntary.
That's true. Yeah.
I just feel like you.
I get confused on that.
Consent is the magic
I always
word.
tell them that my safe word is yes, but they don't. They're not listening.
My safe word is don't stop.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
I mean, I feel like you shouldn't be complaining if you get to bang your hot teacher.
Yeah, I think every guy's joked about that before when you see the picture.
In the fuck? Where were these teachers?
Yes,
thank you.
Nailed it. Me and Jamie were on
My
it.
teachers were not, dude. They were old and oh god, no.
But
Dude,
see the double
couldn't get
standard.
me.
If you flip the double standard, though, right? Like
True.
if it was a girl and an older male, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
terrible.
Then it's like the end of the world. But
No,
like,
it is.
Well,
that's
totally.
just cultural and society.
Here's the thing. I will be honest with the whole teacher thing. They are acting actually like it is the end of the world. Like they are kind of handing it to these ladies like they rightfully should, because it is fucking pedophilia. It's child whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Taking advantage of a younger person.
Exactly. I got to say, that being said, I had this one teacher that was like 26 when she was teaching us, and it was like she was hot.
You're like about it.
Yeah. Everybody was, though. And it was funny because like she was young enough that she could still relate to us.
She didn't understand why the erasers were always on the floor when she walked up, and yeah, it's like, how did that happen every day?
Every day. It's so weird.
I'm actually getting a lot of notifications about my post about the Alabama law.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Do you want what was it? Say it again.
It
one more
was
time.
they were making
The false
rape
what we
allegations.
started
legal.
with.
Okay, yeah, that whole thing.
I guess they're making it a stiffer penalty than just a false police report. Because how many times do you see anybody going to jail over a false police report?
Dude, Val said there was a girl in my class that dated the teacher, and they married shortly after we graduated.
Wow.
What the fuck? How have I never heard of that? That's insane.
You learn something new every day, Jamie.
Jesus.
So Bo is a sober guy.
I am.
Yeah, and how many years now?
August it'll be 9.
That's pretty fucking
Atta boy.
impressive,
Way to
right?
go,
yeah.
man.
Pass me
Thank
the
you.
no.
Yeah, I got a beer.
Pass me the beer.
Yeah.
Every year on my sobriety birthday, they give me a shot of Coke,
Yeah.
Nice.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola in a shot glass.
Yeah. When we hang out at the bars and we'd all want to do a shot, we'd have them pour a Sprite or a Coke or whatever. Yeah, and he'd freaking do a shot with us. So it was kind of cool.
It's funny how many people are amazed I could work at a bar and not want to drink. I'm like,
Right.
have you seen these fucking people?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you hang out, and that's the other
I have
thing
to
too.
deal with these assholes.
So
I
a
don't want
lot-
to be like them.
A lot of people that get cleaned up, they have to stay away from that for a while to
Yeah.
get used to it. But you ended up,
Being
being
around
able
it,
to.
yeah.
Yeah. When I met Bo, it was at a bar.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he's like, "No, I'm sober and all that." I'm like, "Wow, okay, that's impressive."
Yeah,
So-
like come to think of it, I met Bo at a bar, and like it wasn't until like 3 years ago or something that I realized that you just
Don't
were
drink, yeah.
that you
Yeah.
don't drink. I was like, what the okay, all right.
Most people don't even notice it. It's like, but you know the funny thing is, it's kind of fucked up because like when I was drinking, I never got offered free drinks.
Now all of a sudden,
And
I get
now-
offered all these fucking drinks. I'm like,
well, it's
where
like
were
people
you
that
assholes
get
at?
married or with a girl or guy, whatever, they're in a
Yeah.
relationship, and then all of a sudden everyone is like
The
attracted. Yeah.
forbidden fruit.
It's the same. Yeah.
That is what it is, man. That's a fucked up one. 'Cause I've noticed
Yeah.
that. I've noticed that happen.
So it's the same concept.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
soon as you're
You-
fucking locked down, all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I always wondered if you what. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
They
why
pick
didn't
up on the needy vibe.
God damn it! The fuck out of here, fucking harlots, all of you.
Yeah.
all of a sudden they don't want to just be friends.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. Come on now.
Sorry about that, Whammy. Fuck.
Yeah, it happens. All right. Well, is there nothing new on the?
No, nothing new.
Oh, okay.
Last thing Val was talking. Anybody got any fucking politics, free market, capitalism bullshit they want to talk about? Anything?
Bo, you always have questions. I'm surprised.
That's true.
He usually does.
Actually, what is everybody's opinion on Robert Pattinson being the new Batman?
Oh. So me and you talked about it for a second. Like I would say after learning my lesson from Batman versus Superman and Justice League, because I thought he did a good
Yeah,
job
I did too.
personally.
Ben Affleck. Right?
Yeah, Ben Affleck. Yeah.
Batfleck.
I'm thinking like I'm gonna wait and see the trailer. You know,
Right.
I want to see a little bit of action and see what he does, and you know what I mean. Like I can't judge
So
based off of Twilight. Yeah, stupid. You know?
Right.
Well, think
Well,
about it
But
this
I
way,
can't
yeah.
just go off of that.
we have talked about this on our show before. I don't know. Like it wasn't. Somebody told me this, and I agree with them. I'm not really worried with how they play Batman. I'm worried about how they play Bruce Wayne.
Agree
Yeah.
100%.
Well, look at Michael Keaton. He was known before Batman for comedic roles.
Right.
You know, nobody thought, oh, he can't be Batman. He's not serious enough. You know.
Well, so
he played a kick-ass Batman and Bruce Wayne.
I think he was a good Bruce Wayne, but he was still
just a look.
He was still Michael Keaton though.
Yeah.
Like Michael Keaton has a similar. He's kind of like Ashton Kutcher, where they're decent actors, but they always have a little bit of like themselves across every role. Like Ryan Reynolds is another one.
Oh,
he's very much Ryan Reynolds in any role
George
that he plays.
Clooney's the same way too. They all
George
have
Clooney is,
Brad Pitt's that way. Well, I mean, they've done. Don't get me wrong. Now,
and the bat nipples.
all of them, all of them have done like a role or so where it kind of like set them aside, like whatever. But generally speaking, they always have that like they resonate who they really are kind of in there.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves took forever to freaking bust out of that because of the dude,
surfer boy.
Yeah, the dude kind of thing. You know,
it wasn't until fucking. I mean, even in The Matrix, he was still kind of.
Matrix is when he kind of started to step out of that. Yeah.
John Wick is where he did it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, totally.
There's a few movies before that.
Because I mean, he was always bro-ish because he had what Bill and Ted. Then you had
Point Break, bro.
Yeah.
Actually,
Speed, he was kind of like that.
Yeah,
I
good
love
Keanu
Speed.
Reeves movie
It's a
actually
badass
is The
movie.
Man of Tai Chi.
You told me about this. I haven't
Like
watched
he
it.
actually plays the villain, and I was actually like
Really?
surprised. I'm like, he plays a good villain.
Okay.
You know,
Dude, could you imagine John Wick if he was a bad guy?
He did. What was that other one? Johnny Mnemonic, right? Was one.
Yeah,
of them?
Johnny Mnemonic was badass.
That was
dude.
before
I love
Matrix.
that
Before
movie.
Matrix, yeah.
That was right when he was starting to kind of come out of that a little bit. He
It
still
was
had that.
Johnny
in
Mnemonic and Speed.
Yeah.
After Bill and Ted, so it was like his first serious role was Johnny Mnemonic. I think that movie's fucking. I'm gonna download
There
that.
you go. Yeah,
I
you're
am
welcome.
excited for the new Bill and Ted movie.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm ready for it. Dude.
That'll be
Hell
probably
yeah.
pretty cool. I think it'll be pretty cool.
I hope so, dude. It's gonna be so funny to see him like go back to that after he tried to get out of it.
Tried
so
to get away
long.
from the bro.
Yeah.
I read a thing that he was offered the Captain Marvel role before they casted it and everything.
Really? That might have been fucking
That's crazy,
tight.
right? It would be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could see him in a superhero movie after the Matrix. I'm just gonna be like, it's Neo. He's flying.
He's the one. Yeah.
He's the one.
I agree. And then they're talking about putting him in the Fast and Furious franchise
Oh
now.
God, no! Please stop adding people.
Yeah.
Dude, like totally, that's my car.
I know, right? Like we have John Cena, I guess now or some shit.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Bro, Hector's running
I mean,
three
what
Honda
is this?
Civics with spoon engines.
Whoa!
I mean, this is turning into the fucking Expendables all over again.
Yeah.
Let's get all the old action stars and put them in the Fast and the Furious
I know.
franchise.
It does feel like that.
I mean,
now.
what is Jet Li gonna join?
But if you think about it, right, that whole franchise is kind of that now,
Yeah,
kind of, sort of.
it's gotten away from the.
You know,
Right.
It
Like
is a little bit.
I honestly adore the Fast and the Furious franchise, not because they're cinematic masterpieces.
or realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
because
shit.
they're entertaining, and I understand like only the first two were actually about like racing cars. But I mean,
Actually,
fuck,
I'll
man.
say the
well,
first-
the
The
third
one too,
actually.
yeah.
Tokyo
Tokyo
Drift.
Drift was
dude.
I
That's the
think
only
it-
one I actually like.
I like.
That one's
Yeah.
bad. I like that one too.
It goes Fast and the Furious, and then Tokyo Drift are my favorite. The first one and the third one.
The one thing about Tokyo Drift is like when she's like introduced the main girl character and the main guy character, she's like driving him around that mountain, and they're drifting around that whole fucking mountain, and they're like, it's all this like serene music. And she's like, yeah, I just used to come up here to like clear my head, you know. And like everyone who's doing that kind of shit is in fucking full pucker mode.
For
like when you're
reals.
drifting around corners like that, it's like you're. She's like, I just come up here to relax, you know. It just clears my head. And you're like, what the fuck, lady? How are you concentrating right now?
I don't know how the hell she's like all relaxed because whenever I'm on the racetrack, I'm like really focused. You know, even when I've done back roads, like I know friends that'll like put music on. I'm like, no,
I can't do music if
I
I'm
have
ripping,
to have
dude.
everything. You know, it's the road, the engine. That's me, and that's it.
Straight
I
up.
have to focus. I can't have anything in the background.
I won't do
noise.
music. Dude, I won't do music if I don't know where I'm going. Like if I'm pulling
Oh,
up and
God.
trying to find a fucking house, I'm trying to
I'm
read the
guilty of that.
fucking things. I'm like, music's
You know.
fucking off.
Yeah, you
'Cause
gotta have
'cause,
concentration.
You
Yeah.
know, I can't hear the
Fucking
address.
Kesha, I can't listen to you right now, okay? I need to fucking find out
Yo,
where I'm
Brittany,
going.
chill.
Yo.
Nice.
Okay,
Bo, how
I'm
many
sorry.
times have you been on track?
I've been twice. I was supposed to go to another one a couple months ago, but my car broke down.
So 2 times you've actually had it out on the track.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's nothing like it. I don't even enjoy.
Which raceways were you at?
I've gone to Streets of Willow, which is at Willow Springs down south, and I've gone to Buttonwillow, which is near Bakersfield.
Fuck, all the way down Bakersfield?
Actually, it's only like 3 hours away. The one Willow Springs that
Okay.
I went to, that was like over the grapevine.
Oh, okay.
That was way farther.
Yeah.
Like, takes a 3-hour drive to get to Buttonwillow, which is nice.
It's not too bad.
Oh shit,
No.
dude.
And
How was it,
and
man?
He
You
drives it
fucking-
there too.
What's the fastest you got your car up to on the track?
I probably got like buck 20 around there. It's not like a really high speed track.
Yeah, road
Right,
course,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's more corners. Like, I mean, yeah, Laguna Seca is more of a high speed track.
Right. More straights.
Yeah. Because I think the longest straight at Buttonwillow is only like less than a quarter mile long.
Oh, okay. Well, dude, 120 and a quarter mile is not
Yeah.
fucking bad though. Holy
No,
shit.
it's-
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I got in my old Neon when I was driving it up to 130 in fourth gear, and then I just put it in fifth and fucking backed off. But I was on the fucking freeway, so like that
Well,
was dumb enough.
I went faster than that on the way to the track.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
We were out there, at night on I-5, and I might have hit 150.
That little Mazda did 150, huh?
It had more into it, too.
Fuck, dude.
And then he took off because his wing.
yeah.
Actually, I didn't take off
flew
because of the
away.
wing. That thing felt
That's
dead
because you flipped
stable.
it upside down.
Yeah. Turned it around,
Yeah. So that's a little thing that you do, and you do all the car shows and stuff. So he shows off his Mazda.
Yeah, I actually have a car show this weekend at Sonoma Raceway, which is actually going to be cool because I get to watch racing and show my car.
There you go. Best of both worlds.
Hell yeah.
Right on. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something else that you're into. But the whole so back to the whole sober thing. So 8 years, and then you also were like a counselor. There's a name for it, but like, what were you?
I was trying to go to school for alcohol and drug counseling,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, I found it it's not what I wanted to do.
Right. After you started it, you kind of
yeah,
got.
I did like a little mini internship, and it's a lot of paperwork. It's like you're 75% doing paperwork, and the other 25% you're actually.
If you wanted all that
helping
paperwork, you'd just be a cop. And then,
someone. Yeah,
you
I'm
know.
like,
Statism.
right?
right?
I felt I could help people better just by having my experience and then seeing me sober. I don't need to.
What about being like a motivational speaker or something like that?
Oh God,
I live in a van down by the river. I could see Bo doing that.
hell no. Johnny knows how much of a filter I have.
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, real talk with Bo.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I would be completely honest, and it would piss people off.
Yeah, it's cool. We've talked about the whole sober thing and
Yeah.
like what you do, what you've done, because you've been involved in the groups and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I did AA and all that. It's
Stuff's interesting.
It helped me for a while for what I needed. I don't go much anymore, but
When I met you, you were very active in it. Stuff.
Oh, I was because honestly, I was delivering pizzas. I had a lot of free time.
Right, and you were what, like 6 years at that time too?
Yeah, I was still
so
pretty
still
active.
relatively new in
Yeah.
the, yeah.
I mean, it gave me something to do to keep my mind off of shit. It kept me involved. I've gotten to my point in life where I actually have a life now, so I don't have much time. I wish.
Debatable.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's cool. I like it because it's what I like about it is it's a real thing. You know what I mean? It's not it's not statism where it's all made up and shit like that.
No.
Just suit whoever wants to control people. Where you like individually are working on each person by individual case. You know what I mean?
Like most
that's
people
cool.
think it's religious when it really isn't. Doesn't
Well,
have to be.
it could be,
doesn't-
but
it
it's
could
not.
Be, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
right.
have to be.
Mhm.
It's everybody's case is different.
Well, because they want you to, if I'm not wrong, they want you to look at a higher power or something above yourself, kind of
Exactly,
thing, right?
that's
You-
exactly it.
They want you to admit that you are powerless. Is what
I
it
mean,
is.
and think about it. I mean, we really are. I mean, the only thing I have power over is me and my actions.
Well, yeah, but that does
You know?
mean that you do have power. So I would say that.
But
right?
I don't have power over outcomes. I could put in the footwork, but what happens after that is not up to me.
Depending, yeah. I mean, but you also, like, a person, like, obviously, just like, okay, a good example would be, like, the people that are new getting out of alcohol addiction, right? So you obviously aren't going to put yourself in a position to be around alcohol for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know that that's going to, like, cause and effect kind of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you'd understand that, but, it's ultimately it's like the individual knows that they need to get help, right? Usually they're the ones that seek it. Sometimes yours was a little bit more forced, right?
It was forced and not forced because the last time I was in jail, which was 2010, I realized I was comfortable there. And it, for some reason or another, this time it actually got into my head. I'm like, this is not a good thing.
Yeah, this is not a good thing. That's very
I
good.
shouldn't be okay with being locked up. But I did see why people can become institutionalized.
Right.
So when you're locked up, every decision's made for you. You're told when to eat, when to sleep, when you can work, when you can watch TV, what to wear.
Right. And this goes along with people that are in long-time jobs too, right? Or military comes to mind right now.
Yeah.
But like you'll have something where you're used to doing it. Like it could be a CEO or anything, right?
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
But you're like used to that one thing, And then when you get out of it, it's like, what the fuck do I do with myself? Well, just like when you didn't have your job for a week, right? Yeah. You're like, wait, what do I do with myself?
Yeah, you don't get me wrong. The first couple of days were cool to have off, but then now I'm like, what do I do?
He had a Mai Tai, just so you know. Threw that out the window.
Virgin Mai Tai.
Yeah.
So, not to derail you guys too much, Corey said he went 210 miles an hour in an 06 Z06 Vet with a friend and had NOS.
He had NOS?
Holy shit.
Was it nitrous or was it NOS, man?
Well, he says NOS, like that's nitrous oxide.
The way you write it, Bo. Get all the car Nazi on it.
So the fastest I had ever heard of anyone going was that now.
That's pretty fast.
He's the fastest guy that I know, straight up. I had a buddy of mine. I just texted him. Hopefully he fucking joins the live stream here pretty soon.
Not to boast, but I have jerked it faster than that.
I mean...
I'm pretty sure we've all jerked it faster.
It's not a competition. You know? It is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't give you exact number. I'm just, I didn't want to make it a competition.
I had a buddy of mine where we used to work at a...
You had a buddy of yours? Jerk?
I'm telling you
that was a rough segue.
I'm telling a different story. Friend of mine, we used to work at a motorcycle shop together. We sold I sold bikes. He was a mechanic, and I'm hoping he jumps in the chat here. But he told me on a fucking one of the bikes that was a 1,000cc Gixxer, the old Suzuki. He fucking got up to 186. He said, and it was a brand new bike taken on its first fucking test drive.
Nice.
There he is. That's the dude, Owen. He said he's fucking hugging the tank and the helmet is fucking pushed all the way up against your face.
Holy shit.
Like, because the width, like he said, if he would have stood up, he would have gotten sucked off the back of the bike. 186.
I remember the first time I got blown that good, too.
Jesus Christ.
Owen, he's not talking about the bike. He's talking about how fast you guys could jerk each other off.
That's not. It's not.
Hey,
not what
if
I was
he came in
about.
late, that's his problem. That's hella funny.
Yeah, so up until right now, he was the fucking. He said not a brand new bike. Oh, it was a friend's bike. Okay, I thought it was on a fucking one of the shop bikes. Whatever.
Yeah,
But,
you remember the part that mattered.
Yeah, 186 is what I meant.
Does it really matter which bike you jerked it on?
Nah, I just got lost at the blow
not.
part. So.
But yeah, that was fucking epic. Until right now, Corey, that dude was the fastest one right here. That's cool that he fucking showed up. I texted him, and he fucking jumped in there. Thanks for coming in and jumping in there, Owen. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, sir.
So getting back to Batman for a second.
Dude.
We watched the Batman animated.
Yeah, what's up with watching the Batman animated series?
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
good.
We watched episode 34 with Joker.
Yeah.
This
Harley
Joker
Quinn.
fish.
The laughing fish,
The
as it
laughing
were.
fish.
I feel like it was not when he rode the shark, but it was like kind of when the show was jumping the shark. It was kind of getting to that whole...
Yeah, that was
Batman
Yeah.
riding
Cheesy.
a fucking shark, dude. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
You were right about the chain getting held along.
Yeah.
Like
It was
I'm
like
like,
handcuffs, and then it
bro.
turned to this big to fit a white shark's mouth.
I mean, he was like leaning back and everything like he was riding a fucking Bronco and shit, dude. I'm like, go Batman.
Well, I said, like, I noticed, like, if I remember correctly, because it's been years since I watched him until that episode, but, like, I remember whenever the Joker was on, they were a little bit more crazy episodes.
Okay.
Like, you know, a little bit more
a little
campy.
more over the top, you said.
Yeah, a little bit, you know, a little bit more like that, where most of the other ones were darker.
I mean, you could tell that series is old school when Batman uses a flashlight.
Go for it. When you had a flashlight, that's right.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, Batman has like night vision and shit now. I think Jamie needs a beer assistant.
Yeah, he does. So, yeah, and we were talking too about like how the animated series has that like retro feel to it.
Oh yeah,
which I always dug. I always liked that because I love.
It was like a Noir kind of feel. You know?
Well, yeah, and it had like kind of a 1940s, 50s kind of vibe to it, even though there was still modern shit in it.
They had a damn Zeppelin in the sky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then, like I was saying, the Mafia always used Tommy guns.
Yeah. Everybody had a trench coat and
the cars, like if you look at all the cars and the way they dressed and stuff, it's all 50s looking. So I thought that was cool.
I mean, Batman didn't even have armor.
Nope. He was that good.
He had tights.
He was elegant. Aerodynamic, bro.
Right?
It was functional.
I mean, he wasn't even stealth. He was wearing blue and gray.
You see these armpits? There's no hair there, man. So I'm more aerodynamic when I fight.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Gotta cut down on that wind resistance, bro.
Yeah. Cuts down the stink factor.
And actually, I think Batman the Animated Series is where I got my idea of the Joker from. You know?
That's what made your like iconic view of who he's
it's
supposed
like
to be.
we were discussing like that. I think Jared Leto, I mean, besides the look, actually did a good job as the Joker.
More Joker-ish.
Yeah, or Heath Ledger looked like a homeless guy with the skin condition.
he was very like
he played a total different take on it.
Raggedy.
He was more of like
kind of like how the Penguin played in that the second
Batman Returns.
Yeah,
Danny DeVito was
he
awesome.
kind of made it his own thing. You know what I mean?
I think there's probably nobody that can do the Penguin better than he did.
No,
for that type of character, because the Penguin isn't really that way.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, you're right, Johnny. Like the Penguin actually was a mobster, a gangster. He ran his own gang. You know, he ran a club where they did change the style of the Penguin in Batman Returns.
It's the same kind of concept.
Do you think so? See, I don't know much about the Penguin. I just thought
he was another one of those like mafia dudes.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with Joker. It's more like that.
Like if you actually watch Gotham, they kind of got him a little bit better in that show.
Yeah, I liked it better because it fit that. I mean, it was weird that they had him real skinny, and that was kind of weird for me.
That was different.
But like it made the character part of him was a little bit more accurate because he was like that awkward gangster trying to run the fucking city, right?
Yeah.
That would fit more of the style. Because that's what pretty much most of the characters were doing in Batman. I mean, they were trying to be like running the fucking city, take over the city.
Well, okay, so the one thing that I did like, well, I liked a lot of things about the Heath Ledger Joker, but check this out.
I was about to bring up Michelle Pfeiffer in leather.
She was a good Catwoman, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger Joker, his big old thing was like, this city deserves a better class of criminal, which I kind of liked that aspect. That seemed very Joker-esque to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys obviously know more about him as a character than I do, so it's kind of hard for me to.
But if you like it, you like it. You know, I don't have a problem.
Don't get me wrong; it was a great movie.
It was a great role. I don't like the movie.
Yeah, that's true. I swear, Batman's voice got worse as that series progressed.
That movie's when it started too. Cause
I was like, bro, like clear your throat, man. What's wrong?
Yeah, I watched it a couple weeks
ago. Drink some water.
And I was like, oh, dude. And his facial expressions were like weird. Oh, God,
it got like weird.
The Bat Dad like nails him, dude. I always thought the Bat Dad was exaggerating because I haven't seen that movie that many times. And I'm like, no, he actually... So I'm like, stop, he's being way over the top. And then when you actually watch...
You're like, shit.
I'm like,
it's
he nailed
like
it.
that, yeah.
He's like, where is the Joker?
Well, actually, okay, so have you watched the Pete Holmes do any of the Batman
stuff?
I
love Batman.
Dude, he crushes it, in my opinion.
I love Batman.
Where he's like, he fucking... oh, they're just sleeping. He's like, Batman, do you not know what death is? Like, well, he's just asleep.
My mom and dad are super jerk.
Oh, that was...
You could have just jerked it.
What am I doing? I'll save you the trouble. That was great. I love that.
Actually, I think my favorite one is with
white
Bane.
Bread.
Yep.
With Bane. That was my favorite one.
Yeah. He's like, that guy straight up broke my back. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the one where he's like...
He's talking about
You're
Bane.
telling me if I touch this red button... in a certain way, there's an explosion.
Yeah,
isn't that the same one with the killing too? I think where you're stabbing.
No, that one's with Penguin.
No,
and
that
Patton
was
Oswalt is the Penguin.
I can't remember.
Then there's the other one with the Riddler, and he's just an idiot.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
It's not as good
he
as
just
the-
doesn't get it. He's like,
He doesn't get
he
it.
calls Alfred. What's a 4-letter word for? Like he just doesn't get any of the
I think
fucking
he say
jokes.
something about like cheese or some shit, like for every answer or something.
Yeah, that interpretation of Batman's pretty good.
Yeah.
For making fun of the newer ones.
Dude, it's so good, and you can see like it's funny. Like his bat suit gets better, like as you can tell, he gets more funding to do that that show.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Well, Pete Holmes does a lot of badass shit. Have you seen the X-Men series he does?
Me and Bo watched all the X-Men and the Street Fighter ones.
Fucking Wolverine,
No.
dude.
I haven't seen
Tubes.
that. Tubes.
Yeah, he
Metal
says that
and
your
tubes.
special power is basically
Glass
just
and
flailing like, in front of you.
So basically what it is Professor X is firing all of the X-Men, and he's talking shit to them as he's doing it.
Okay. Oh, and I think where he's bald?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that one, yeah.
Where Wolverine comes off as like a complete moron. Like one of his, like, he says one of his
Our
powers,
biggest enemy is a guy that can control metal, Magneto.
the thing that
and
you're
you are
made
of. And he's all, I'll just drive my motorcycle
Like,
at him.
like
So what is it made out of? Tubes.
glass and tubes. I can smell really far.
Again, doesn't help me.
Yeah, right. It's like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
they nailed it in the Cyclops one. They did all the.
Yeah, they did all of them. I
Yeah.
think.
There's a Dorkly does some pretty good animations, and they're like, well, talking about like the Flash versus Superman, like which one's faster. And obviously, like if you look at the comics, like Flash is faster than Superman,
yes,
right?
yes.
He's so fast he can touch himself in the past. You know what I mean? Like that kind of crazy shit. And then like so basically what it comes down to is they're gonna do like a race, and then Superman just fucking shoots Flash in the knee and takes off.
Nice.
Like he's like
Actually,
Such a cheater.
The other favorite one of P. Holmes is with Guile, a Street Fighter.
Yeah.
He talks about
That's
the
a good one.
gunless war of 82 or some shit like that. He's asking him, he's like, dude, like.
So what kind of soldier are you? You don't
Yeah.
have a gun. You don't.
Yeah, you don't give her your flash kick. He's like, these people have guns.
General Mills,
Oh, God, General Mills.
America.
America. He's just out of nowhere. Like, what the
Dude.
fuck, dude?
You have 2 tattoos of a flag on your
Yeah, I
arm.
know, right?
They did. Dorkly did another one where it was like Magneto comes in and like Tony Stark flies down in Iron Man suit and Magneto just fucking into a ball. He's like, okay, next. Like,
right.
Oh, God, that reminds me of another line from the X-Men one with P. Holmes. Is he fucking throws a fucking magnet on Magneto's helmet and goes, you fucking refrigerator. You fucking refrigerator.
That's awesome. Well, we got what we doesn't seem like there's very many people in the chat anymore.
Damn.
Anybody want to talk about why the free market is the answer?
I love how you keep doing that.
I
dude.
like- I mean,
Do we have enough time for Johnny to talk about that?
No,
I
we
mean-
never have
we
enough.
never have enough time.
I mean, he told me about his 1 minute rant, and I was like, is that even a rant by Johnny Doe?
Yeah, it's about government. It's our last video on there.
I was like, I don't think I've
Government
ever.
and how we don't like it.
Yeah, we didn't get a podcast last week because everyone had to cancel. Jamie had too much fun.
I had too much fun. Yeah, I was well, and that and we didn't have our black guys.
Yeah,
Straight up.
exactly. That's how we ended.
Yeah, that's how we
Come on,
ended it.
man. They're on black time. Come on.
Shout out to Kenny.
You were kidding.
Shout out to Aaron.
Yeah, what the fuck? Where is Aaron? He's supposed to be here right now. It's fucking 6.
No. 7:30 somewhere in there is when he shows
okay.
up. 7:30.
Ah.
He's coming from SJ, I think. So
Okay.
Still remember the last time Kenny called me when he was drunk?
no.
Remember that? When I was in San Jose with my buddy, and he kept calling me. God.
yeah.
Talking about black time.
There was a story I was gonna tell too, but I don't remember what it was.
Because we don't see Kenny drunk that often.
No.
It's pretty funny.
It is
Kenny's like
hilarious.
allergic to alcohol, so when he
Dude.
gets drunk, it's like
It
it's
is fucking.
hilarious.
It's epic. Yes, it is hilarious. Like
He gets like double drunk. It's
he literally called me, telling me to come to the tavern. So I'm like, okay, I'll be there in like 45 minutes. He calls me 15 minutes later, like, where you at? I'm like, bro, I just told you.
you're like,
like,
is this thing working?
Yeah.
then he says something. He's like, black time. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was there. I was with him when he called.
Oh
you.
yeah, that was shit. Was yeah. And then when I got there, it got even better. He just,
Kenny's a fucking riot.
oh dude, yes.
Love that dude.
So
You know what I wish he would do though is buy the goddamn shirts that I'm having to buy for everybody
there you go.
from episode fucking 8 or some
yeah,
shit.
some shit like that.
I
Back
thought
in
you were
the
gonna
day.
say buy a watch.
No,
Oh, wait,
I
that's
don't
actually
give a
one of
fuck.
his-
He has watches. He loves watches.
Yeah.
He has a watch collection, yet he's never on time.
This is the Kenny hour, where we just talk about Kenny.
We need to get him a specially made like watch. Doesn't have no numbers on it,
Well, there you go.
so he can never be late.
I mean, if you don't use it, then does it
I
really
mean,
have
also you
numbers?
you can't be late if you don't show up.
There's a philosophical answer to that. I'm pretty sure. If a tree falls and no one's around, like,
Exactly.
if a clock face has no numbers,
Can you be
Yeah, if you
late?
don't look
is
at
it a
your
clock?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We got any more chat or? Oh, he's messaging.
Kenny's probably
I'm
gonna.
planning
he's-
another thing too.
Kenny's probably gonna kill me later, but
Yeah, it's
no.
all right. I feel like you're always in line to get killed,
I am.
so it happens. Anything else new, Bo, with you?
Not a damn thing,
Yeah.
honestly. Just waiting on that stupid ass car. Now I got to Uber home.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's gonna be worth it though.
But my first Uber experience was today. It was actually worth it.
Uber's not a joke, dude. Uber, like, you think, okay, so you get a cab, you get a fucking Crown Vic or a van or some bullshit.
Dude, I got
But
picked
like
up in a Mercedes.
Yeah, like
Black
an Uber
Mercedes,
can
bro.
just
I was
be
like,
whatever.
Damn, okay.
Like, dude, I thought about when I had my fucking cool car. I was like, dude, I'll fucking be an Uber. Like, how cool would that be?
Oh,
You're
God,
like,
my car would make people throw up.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you had a fucking system in it and all this shit, and like people could look through and they're like, oh, I want to fucking show up in a race car. That'd be awesome. And then you fucking, whoa.
Until you pick a
Right.
drunk person up and they puke all in your back seat.
Well, then you just stop at like 9. You know what I mean? Like only work from like 8 to 4 or some shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like felt baller as hell. I like sat in the back of the Mercedes, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, sitting
Yeah,
up front.
it's
I wanna
like you
feel
got
like
your
I'm
own little
chauffeuring,
limo
you know?
and shit, yeah. Got your dress shirt on too, so you felt all
It's
baller.
kind of funny that the Uber driver had never taken Uber before.
Right.
She told me that. She's like, it's my first time too. I was like,
Nice.
oh.
Yeah. Sweet.
Legit.
Did you get the digits?
Pop that cherry.
Nah.
No, not your style.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, Uber, I mean, that's like a total cool free market kind of solution thing, right? There you go, Jamie.
Yeah,
Actually, little known fact about Uber. Did you know they do not consider their employees?
What do they consider?
Customers.
Oh.
Really?
That's why they actually went on strike not too long ago.
Oh, I remember seeing that too.
Uber, Lyft is the other one.
Yes.
And then there was actually a thing where the local taxi unions were striking because of Lyft and Uber. And it's like, they're like, well, you're trying to put us out of fucking business. And it's like, free market, bitch. Like, fucking make your own shit then, if that's what you're trying to do. I fucking totally agree with it. Free market, all the way.
I agree with why they struck, too, though. I mean, for the Uber people, because I guess Uber and Lyft had lowered their rates.
Oh, they weren't paying them as much?
Yeah. And it's like, you don't have a business without these people.
Yeah.
So how are you, I would be kind of offended if you called me a customer, not an employee. I'm like,
well,
fuck you.
Two things, right? They're non-union technically. Right. They're not unionized, right? So they're not paying into a collective. But there is something to be said about camaraderie and the free market, where they, as a collective, I'm going to use that word, decided what to make that employer do for them. And that sounds like free market to me. The employer either says "fuck you" and gets new employees, or they do what they're supposed to do.
Go over to Lyft.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, think about it. If all of
or start a new one,
the Uber and Lyft drivers, actually every single one of them went on strike, Uber and Lyft would probably have to secede to their demands, because I mean they don't have a business without those people.
Then you could also just start a new company. Like, they should have just got together and started a new company.
Well, I agree.
You know or I mean, literally, there are other people out there that aren't working that will just do the job for what they want.
Yeah, but if they all quit at once, is what they every.
Yeah, but that's like anything, right?
It would take like a week, and they'd be back up and running.
I don't know about a week, because you know how many Lyft and Uber drivers are out there right now.
I'm just saying, dude, the amount of people that are out there that are not working that would just willingly be like, let's take a job.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No,
I think it wouldn't take that long.
But by the same means, like, if your company's doing something you don't like, you have every means to say some shit about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of offensive, like calling your employee a customer, not an employee. I'm like, come on, man.
Valerie says, I took an Uber for work thing. The guy had lollipops and other candies.
What?
He had lotion and hand sanitizer. It was awesome.
Why did you have lotion? This is kind of weird.
You never know.
You never know, bro.
It was a luxury experience, is I think what she's getting at.
Was there like a divider between the front and back seat, or what?
It's none of your goddamn business, Bo.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
I just did.
None of your goddamn business,
Bo, we need to have a conversation about boundaries, okay?
you made it weird by mentioning the lotion and hand sanitizer.
You know,
you could have just.
He had it. I don't know.
I mean, he also had candy. That's kind of weird.
Is it though?
That's kind of a weird.
Now, if you had a bicycle,
people
like
candy.
Weird. Then we would know 100%. Right now,
a panel
the
van,
jury's
maybe.
still out.
If it was a panel van, no windows. Then it would have been a little weird.
A free candy sign on the side of the door, spray painted.
Free gun parts.
Ooh,
that's how you
that would get all of us.
Me.
Yeah, fuck.
Done. I consider me
free gun
stolen.
with every ride. I'd be like, I'm in.
Free gun parts, free car parts. Oh,
so
God, I would have been like,
can we get a 4 for $3 deal? Like, what's up with that? Like, can we all jump in there? We get an extra one. Like, what's up?
know, right?
You say all I got to do is drop my pants? Hopping in the fucking car, you know, like fuck. Is this what kind of gun are we talking about though? Like.
Yeah.
Then it might
it's
change.
not some high point bullshit.
Exactly, right?
I was about to go there.
Yeah.
With our luck, it would be a high point.
Yeah, we had that high point meme on our page. With what was it?
It was a high point, a plastic knife, and then like
a
giant shitty flashlight.
D-cell battery one.
Yeah, it's like when you're broke as fuck, but EDC is life.
Right. Fuck yeah, dude. That was badass.
I mean, it could be worse. We could, only have spoons. Sure.
Like England and shit.
In the UK, yeah, man. A spoon, I guess, is a dangerous object.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, shit, how much time do you get for
a
sport,
so like on that example, right, like how the UK has banned knives now, right? And so that's what we always talk about, like, okay, so they ban the guns, and then they're going to ban parts, and then they're going to get to the guns, and then eventually they're going to get into the other tools, right? Like hammers and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to have a permit for this, that, and the other thing, or you don't even get to use it at all. Like, you know, there was one guy from the UK that was saying that he has a multi-tool. He's in a rescue team, and the blade exceeded what was it? 3 inches was the law.
Yeah.
And if
it
the
couldn't be locking either.
Yeah, so if it's like one of those old buck knives or Swiss Army knives that like pop out but it doesn't lock into place,
that's fine.
Then it's okay as long as it's under 3 inches. But his was a multi-tool that locked into place, and it was a 3-inch blade, so it was like right there.
So
but because it locked, he couldn't carry it. So he could only have it when he went to work for search and rescue.
So
on a multi-fucking tool.
So this
bro.
is the kicker,
That's
too. This
so
is the
dumb.
loophole where they could get you, too. So you could legally purchase a locking knife.
Yep.
But if you get caught with it, transporting it home, you could go to jail.
And there was one guy that we read that
like, actually happened to
left the store and then got arrested out front for it.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, in what world does this make sense?
I think what a lot of people don't understand, because like there are a lot of things out there that you could look at objectively and be like, yeah, like we shouldn't be able to do that, or people shouldn't be able to do that. Call it the false rape allegations. Mm-hmm. Right, fine. People should not be able to do that. However, casting legislation to force people not to do it is where we have an issue.
Right.
Because if you so take gun laws, right? If we're casting legislation to make these things illegal, where does it stop? It's a slippery slope, right? Because just like you said, it starts with the gun, or it starts with the gun parts, and then it'll start with the guns, and then it's the knives, and then it's our spoons, and then it's our fucking crutches, and then it's whatever. Like
my wiffle bat.
Who knows where that's gonna end?
Yeah, that will be next.
So the thing is that like what we're trying to push for is the principal matter of never letting them take the first step.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of people just don't understand that. It's the fact that there's any legislation is the problem at all. Like that's the issue. That's the whole issue.
Well, me and Johnny were actually talking about that earlier too, where it's like where some of these politicians fucked up. They try to like go all or nothing with this big old like broad, expansive like legislation, where the smart politicians actually erode at your freedoms little.
Yeah, not that we agreed with this, but that would be the tactically way to do it, right?
You do those, we don't agree with this.
Just like they're doing with the guns, right? You take a little bit at a time.
You don't do it all at once.
Yeah, you do this grand sweep, and it's like it's not going to work.
You're going to piss off people, and you're going to get these little things piece by piece, and people aren't going to notice because they're morons, but
Well, yeah, there's that. What do you got going over here?
I'm
Jay?
just trying to see if anybody like just Aaron and
Wonder
Valerie. The only two people
No
that
one likes
That's
us.
all right. We'll take it. We'll take anything.
Hell
Right.
yeah, dude.
And if you guys are still watching, you haven't thumbs it up. Thumbs it up.
Yeah, please thumbs it up if you guys are still
Thumbs
watching.
up.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Ian
This
still here?
fucking logo is badass, dude.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
If I wasn't blocking it,
It's still fucking sick.
still cool. I need to like square off so it looks like I'm in the mask.
That just looks like a blob.
Oh, breathe the,
It looks like you have blue hair, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
Get a blue wig on.
I think that's gonna be the next one that I maybe the Freedom Fighter and the blue,
Yeah,
the Grim Reaper.
yeah. Oh, I knew what you
The
meant.
blue,
Yeah,
yeah, I just
the
said the
blue.
blue,
Like,
yeah.
okay, Jamie. Yeah.
What are you fucking
yeah, the
talking
blue.
about?
Okay.
It's one of like 6 colors on that thing. The blue. You know what I'm talking about.
Corey said.
Yeah, Corey. What do you mean by that? The first 5 steps have already been taken.
You're talking about the guns thing. We have. I think it's
I
like a
have a feeling.
30-second lag that we have. So.
Yeah.
At least 30 seconds. Yeah, for sure. There is. That's okay. We'll just wait a second.
Or 30.
Or 30 of them.
35.
That was cool that my buddy Owen showed up for a second there. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
He lives up north. Went up there to see him one time after Val and I went up there to help host a paintball game up in Copperopolis, which is an actual real
Yeah,
place.
I was just gonna say you didn't just make that
I
up,
didn't-
right?
I
That's
didn't-
a
I
real
didn't
place?
just get
It's
up.
be
It's
like
a real
it's
place.
right next to Nickelback City.
Yeah.
and they have horrible music there.
Yeah,
So, you know.
it's terrible. It's a festival. So we hosted a paintball game, and then like instead of camping out there because it was going to be dog shit cold because we're up in the fucking hills, my buddy Owen's like, I live like 45 minutes away. Why don't you guys just fucking trek down here? And so we did. Went over to his place. Him and I got fucking shit-faced hammered at his place, fucking danced around to some fucking rock and roll music, and then we went to the fucking casino the next day, got breakfast, and gambled a little bit. It was awesome
pretty
time.
cool.
It was so cool, dude.
Indian casinos,
Especially
because
because it wasn't really planned. Indian casino? Yeah.
for the win. That's
Yeah.
most likely. It was an
Yeah.
Indian casino.
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Cash Creek?
Oh, you're
Up
a
there.
fancy one.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a
Yeah,
good
the
time.
gun thing. Yep.
Was John Stamos there?
Not that I was aware of.
Yeah,
no.
on the podcast we're going to talk, Corey, we're going to talk about the new silencer nonsense.
Oh, good.
Yeah, triggered Jamie, sorry. So
You know,
I didn't want to get
even
too much into that part of it,
that's
but
an
yeah, the
incorrect
bump
term.
stocks and suppressor, whatever. But like, yeah, that's what they call it. So we're gonna go with that. Yeah, statism.
Yep, I thought Trump was the answer though.
Yeah.
It's all good, Corey. The delay is what fucks it up.
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
I'll just put it out there. I didn't vote for either one of those idiots.
Yep.
There was no good choice, and I'm not going to settle. Sorry.
Yeah,
Good.
I remember that. I remember that shit, dude. When that was happening, everyone was
we were actually.
Everyone's like,
isn't
"Who are you
that-
voting for?" Well, neither.
Hey, Jamie, isn't that the night Val slapped Trevor?
I
That
don't
he
know,
told
man.
her to? You were shit-faced, too.
I don't fucking know.
I think we were, yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds like a win to me.
It did.
Yeah.
It was a win.
Either way, it doesn't matter what night it was. That was a win.
I had it on video for a while.
Hey,
Got rid of it.
actually, speaking of him, Trevor, I haven't.
I
talked
saw
to him
that.
in a long time.
I saw that.
He's sober now.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Good.
just over a year or something
Yeah,
like that.
I saw
So
that.
Good for him.
Yeah,
That's fucking sweet.
congratulations, bud.
Yeah, that needed to happen.
Oh,
in my opinion. Holy shit!
yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that can drink and then do stuff, and then there's a lot of people that can't.
And there's people that
Exactly.
drink and anything with 2 legs and maybe more.
Well, there's that. too.
Yeah, that's beside the point. I just mean just good for him.
Sometimes 4.
Sometimes 4.
Yeah.
Allegedly,
Or 5. Sometimes they have 5 legs.
Was there poop
Yeah.
involved in there?
Maybe.
well, no, just allegedly is from Letter Kenny.
Johnny knows what I'm talking about.
All right, so.
I think
Wah.
Jamie,
Into
I
that.
think Jamie
no
might
idea
know
what's
too.
happening. No idea what's happening. Allegedly.
Sure.
Sure.
Debatable.
Yeah, I was about this. Yeah,
So many hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a victim.
Yeah, yeah, you are kind of.
So if you guys
Hashtag
haven't
song.
checked this out on the internet, I'll go ahead and re-announce this stuff. We're on
Sure.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Pornhub, Patreon, and now Spotify. So
Yeah,
if you guys just want to listen to the MP3 version and you don't want to go on to SoundCloud because you're fucking looking down your nose at us, you piece of shit, you can go on to fucking Spotify like everyone else. And we're there too. So you can do that.
if you're lucky, Jamie might pose with a mankini. For the highest tier of Patreon.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to put your request in. To see. And it might happen.
Dick pics.
Sure.
Dick pics.
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
this
Corey
is-
says, I want freedom. We might all have to move to Arizona.
Still
fu-
statism, though.
It's
Still
fucking hot over
statism.
there, though. God damn.
Yeah. I've been to Arizona a couple
And
times.
then we live in the desert, man. Like, I don't know, bro. There's not like a lake. Or there probably is a lake. There's not an ocean.
There's some lakes, yeah.
I don't know.
But
I
still,
just
yeah.
I couldn't no. I've been to Vegas
Well,
in the summer.
So this
Ugh.
brings up a good little thing is
The
that
gun
like
laws
when
are
people
good.
always talk exactly. So what they do say is like, and I understand that thinking, right? But like you move to another state, right? Obviously we're in like the worst, pretty much, other than like New
Right.
York, right?
The weather's the best. But
Right. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about laws wise and stuff. But if you move to another state, right, it's still the federal government, just like we were talking about the bump stocks and the silencers.
All that shit.
All that stuff ends up coming in. And I just saw a story too from Illinois, and they ended up now raising their taxes 45%.
Oh hell no.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a gas tax, a tobacco tax, and there was one more. It was 3. But
all the good stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Val says Idaho sounds more appealing than Arizona.
Well, yeah.
Any kind of
I agree with that.
Any kind of hoe?
A lot of people are moving there.
Yeah,
So,
straight up.
I have a cousin that did.
Potatoes.
The
Potatoes.
yeah, well, the
But
thing is too is that you go even in these states like in Arizona, they don't want us from California going over
Yeah.
there because what happens is people from California, this
They
fucking
infect.
victim SJW mentality, they go over there and they try to make it like that, and people there are like, the fuck out of here! Like, why
And-
did you come here then?
And
if
they
you
vote
want-
to raise all the taxes and
Yeah,
all the
they
progressive
bring all their
bullshit
fucking bullshit
and
with
the
them.
gun laws.
I
and
feel
all
like if you try to do that to Texas, they might shoot you though.
No, but you'd be surprised. So Texas has, you got to remember Austin, it has Dallas, and it has all that
yeah,
shit.
They got
And
that keep it
you're
weird
going to
and shit,
have,
yeah.
you're going to end up, it's going to happen. Their numbers, I've seen some of that where the numbers are now going more towards Democrat.
Oh God.
Yeah. But once again, you're still talking about statism, right? So it's like, even
Like,
if you leave somewhere else, you're still going to have to deal with it. It's just you bought yourself a little bit of time kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's better to actually, in my personal opinion, it's better to argue about what we talk about on our show all the
Yeah.
time because it's better to change people from the inside, like your state, and fucking spread that word of freedom, right?
That's exactly what we're trying to
change
do.
fucking
Yeah.
people's minds because that's the only way. That's the only way we're gonna win. I mean, especially these anarcho-capitalists around here, not voting and shit.
Yeah. well, I just mean like if you look at it, it really is the only way.
Right.
If I'm gonna go to another state and then eventually it's gonna become more and more progressive and they're gonna fucking make illegal all the shit that I like, then I don't really have a place to go, right?
Yeah,
like
no
I don't.
shit.
There's not a fucking island that isn't governed by somebody somewhere. You know what I mean?
And that's going to go into a story we're going to be talking about on the podcast tonight about a what is it called? Seasteading. Yeah, that's what it was called. Seasteading. So there's like a place out. So there's this little house that they built out in the middle of Thailand's outside of their internet. It's in international waters, but it's in their economic waters, I believe is what it is.
Okay.
And they basically are building, they built a house, and they had to flee from there because the Thai government, there's a picture you guys will see on the podcast we're going to record tonight. It'll be out tomorrow. That there's like the ship with the landing craft door out. They're like raiding it. They got like their TAC team in a boat with the little the little teeny like rubber boats, you know?
Yeah.
And basically going after them because they have a 2-person little homestead there. And then I guess apparently they got wind of the raid, so that the couple, they left, and they are now hiding in Thailand. One's an American citizen, the other's Thailand.
What the fuck?
And if they get caught, the penalty is a form of treason. I can't remember what it was right now, but it was a form of treason, which makes no sense because that's not treason by just homesteading in international waters.
Right.
And then the penalty can be up to death.
What the fuck, dude?
Honestly,
so we're
does
talk
that really
about that.
surprise you, some of those Asian countries?
Well,
like
it doesn't matter. It's statism, right? So
no,
it's still the
I
same
agree.
thing.
But the Southeast, I mean, look at, what is it, the Philippines or whatever you
Singapore, you get caned if you chew gum.
Yeah, with the ones if you bring in drugs, it's like immediate death penalty and shit like that. If you, it doesn't matter how much.
Yeah, well, it's statism and collectivism.
Yeah.
But like, just real quick, back to the whole moving state to state. I do understand that concept. You know, I've entertained it many times. It's nice to go to a state where you're freer and you have like, you know, better gun laws and all that.
Yeah.
But I'd also argue that it's also cool if you live where you want to live, and then you just don't obey. So
the
there's
only
that.
reason I could see moving
Not
to the
telling
state
people,
is,
I'm just
of,
saying.
I mean, like prices, because it is ridiculously expensive to live here.
Yeah. But
Compared
like,
to
so
other
like
spots.
Nevada, a lot of people, a lot of Californians are moving over there.
Yeah.
Well, they're already now just raised the minimum wage there.
Huh.
So they're not matched with California now. It's like 13 something there, but their cost of living is a little cheaper. But nonetheless, what they're doing is they're doing the exact same thing. So we talked on the show previously about like how the minimum wage doesn't work, raising it and all that. And so it's the same thing going on there. And people are fleeing there like, oh, it's going to be better, all that. And it's like, no, that's it's just going to it's spreading. It's not going to stop. So it's better to attack it at the philosophy level, at the principles and what we're trying to do. It's better to do that than actually try to use the system to win, because it's just it's a downward spiral with the state.
It is. And like what I think a lot of people don't understand, that are like, if you so raise the minimum wage, the cost of goods goes up, so now your minimum wage doesn't do shit. And then you move to another state where just the dollar has more value. You get paid less, but things cost less.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's scales. Everything scales. I don't know. It's like I've thought about it too, moving to like Idaho or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and I wouldn't make as much as I'm making right now, but things wouldn't cost less. I can get a fucking 3-bedroom house for like $1,200 a month. It's like, holy shit! Are you kidding me?
I was a couple years ago. I was just curious. I was looking. I believe it's Merced, but it just even shows like in California how.
Different areas in California are completely different.
Dude, you could rent a 6-bedroom, 3,000 square foot house in Merced for like under $3,000.
Well, exactly. I've had a lot of friends
like,
move to
shit.
like the whole Modesto area or Sacramento area,
Fremont.
and all that. Exactly, because they're going to get it cheaper.
Fremont's expensive.
Yeah. But
Fremont sucks,
I don't
too.
know.
Fresno.
Yeah. I have my
See,
boy.
that's the
my boy
only
lives
thing.
there. It's horrible. I hated it there when I
That's
went
the only
visited.
reason it's not expensive, because they don't want to live in Merced or Modesto and shit.
Plus, you get all the cool like music shows and stuff out here in California.
Valerie
you got the
said,
awesome weather.
A coworker moving into Georgia, getting a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for like $800.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Fucking ridiculous.
That's how much I pay for a fucking room.
Yeah, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's how. I mean, if you went and got a house there, it
Jesus.
wouldn't be much more really. So, to rent.
That's insane.
So don't run. That's kind of the point of the show too. Like, we're freedom fighters. We gotta like fight for what's right.
You got to stand your
We are
fucking
in
ground.
occupied fucking territory, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, we're commandos. Come on now. Commandos are way cooler than being on the front lines, being like infantry guys. Come on now.
We're like fucking.
Yeah, we're behind the yeah, we're setting demo charges.
Behind enemy lines.
Demo charges of freedom, bro. Come on now. It's way cooler than being
against the fucking statists, bro.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, the cost of living is crazy. Like Tennessee too is the same thing. Like I've seen people like, my house is on a lake. I got all this acreage. Like I've seen like.
You're talking about like Chip,
well,
right?
Chip is one of them, but I knew another guy years before that moved out there.
I'm gonna
a contractor.
I'm gonna fucking shoot him a text on here.
There you go.
Just to see. See if he'll fucking
but you could get you get a 6-story. I mean a 6-story, 6-bedroom, 2-story house. All this crap on a lake. It's crazy for nothing.
Yeah, it's cheap everywhere else but California.
Yeah. Well, not just California.
Oh,
New York.
There's others. New York.
All of them are gonna wherever the masses are fleeing the big cities. That's where it.
Well, wrap your head around this one. We have the most expensive gas, but the shittiest gas in the country.
True.
Like we pay more for shit gas than other states do.
Yeah, but it's all the eco bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because we have that stupid ass like summer blend and winter blend,
Right.
and then they just allow the refineries to shut down for maintenance. We gotta do some maintenance.
That's another funny one too. Is like how always everyone knows this. It's like the price of gas always goes up before like 4th of July or any of your big holidays, right? And then they always go, no, it's not because the company's doing it. It's because
they have to do maintenance.
Yeah, it's because or there's a fire. There's always a fire at some refinery or some shit. They're always talking about that.
So Val says houses aren't that much more over there in Georgia. I guess her company opened up a new facility, so there are people that were looking over in that area.
Okay.
And then Corey comes up and he says, you get skills and you get a better job and move up. He said he lost a friend due to the minimum wage shit. Dude got mad that he has 2 kids and wanted to make more than $10 an hour working at the Dollar Tree. It's like, well, fuck, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't exactly expect a whole lot of you doing that job.
No.
Right.
But see, I would also argue
as a cashier, he said, I told him to move to a better company that pays more. He thought, no, they should just raise the minimum wage. Like, what the fuck? He's like, no.
Wrong.
Well, I guess, also, I believe, I guess they've actually thought about this lately, is that McDonald's and everything, they're raising their wages.
It's that Fight for 15 movement, dude.
Well, the thing is people don't realize, yes, during our generation, back in the day, it was high school kids, college kids that were working at these fast food restaurants.
Entry-level jobs.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the case anymore.
Yeah, but working at McDonald's is not supposed to support you and your family.
It's not supposed to be a
I
permanent
agree,
job.
but if you know how much In-N-Out's been paying for years?
Like, they were doing like $12.
But
that's the thing.
A
so,
company.
Okay, so that's a good example, right? So why are you working for McDonald's then?
You should go to In-N-Out.
You go to In-N-Out. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There's a ton of them, right? Like, so that answered that question.
That's
if
free
that's
market.
what you want to do,
that's free market.
Just go there.
Yeah, that's free market.
Yeah, or work somewhere else, like The Habit or some shit. I don't know what their cost is, but or any of the, or what was it? Kenny can't go back to Five Guys because he can't get over it, and it became a habit.
What?
We said online. Oh, you were drunk.
I don't remember what you're talking.
We were talking about all the best burger places, and then he said he had Five Guys.
You like Five Guys, right?
No.
But was it Kenny?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once you go Five Guys, you can't go back. It becomes a habit. I played off the names of all the burger places. That's pretty. That was what.
So is Kenny like Fat Guys? Is that what it is? Fat
no, Five Guys, not fat. There's no fat in there.
Well, he likes fat women, so I don't know.
I don't know if you should be saying that on live stream.
Zinger
Johnson's. My little edit.
Okay. He likes them big and beautiful.
He always he can't stop talking.
Yeah.
It happens.
I told you I don't have a filter.
Bo, take it easy, okay?
He probably doesn't have a holster either.
We got no post on this one, but anything you say is released to the public.
I apologize to all the big women out there.
I feel like you're just making it worse.
So Corey said, my wife's been looking in Texas thanks to the house flippers. Val says, I want $15 an hour. I can't get the order right. Or put a cheese square in the middle of the burger.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I've seen like the fucking...
Yeah, I've seen all those fails.
Where it's like, it's your burger, and then like on the paper, the cheese is just not even in the burger. And it's like, hashtag Fight for 15. Go fuck yourself.
Actually, if you notice, have you been to McDonald's lately? They're going like upscale. Like you pick a number and you put it on your table. They bring you.
Oh shit! That's the Carl Jr.'s stats.
Yeah.
That's
that's like you could order on the little kiosk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even need to fucking.
Well, and that's part of it too, right? Like we were talking about that before. Well, you're $15 an hour now. There's going to be all robots.
Yep. Now it's a machine.
But they've made it so they still have someone that's bringing it, to you.
Right.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I did that, and we took our numbers and shit, and no, they just call them out, and you have to go up and get it.
No, Bertha, which one did you go to?
The one here.
Oh.
They fucked you because I've been to the one here. And
maybe they were short-staffed or something too. Maybe
there was a million of those motherfuckers behind the counter.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think that's the dumbest thing to do at a fast food place because, like, why? Like, just get your fucking food. Like, you don't, you're not there to be like at a high class restaurant like Sizzler
or Red Lobster.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, Sizzler's a little bit more like that, right? Because they're not really taking your order there.
Steven says, "Cut his mic."
Oh yeah, exactly right.
Fuck off, Steven.
Yeah, and she's agreeing. They've never brought it to us. Like the food.
Were you okay? Did you order to go or for there?
What? No, I ordered it there.
I had a number.
They had trays and everything. Numbers, yeah.
Oh, you did? Really?
Yeah.
What
they didn't
the
give
fuck?
me in a bag.
Who cares? It's McDonald's.
They didn't like you.
Yeah,
What are you guys
I
talking
don't give a
about?
fuck.
They
Like,
just
I
didn't
really
like you because they brought me my shit.
Whatever.
No, they felt sorry for you.
Got it. I'll take it.
They're like, he's driving.
Left it there.
He's driving that car. All right, let's
Ah.
bring him his food.
I didn't have to go pick up my food like you, sir. You peasant.
I'm a filthy commoner, as it were.
Yeah. Fucking McDonald's. We're talking about McDonald's now on the show.
Jesus
We're upping
Christ.
from Taco Bell to McDonald's.
I love me some fucking McDonald's, dude.
Yeah.
But I do love me some.
Yeah, but it just
Taco Bell's
proves
fake.
that Taco Bell's superior. So.
Taco Bell's fake
It
Mexican
does.
food.
I don't know how, but it does prove
Taco
it.
Bell never joked about bringing you your food. They're just like, you come up here and get it, you piece of shit.
Our shit's good. You have to come to
you
us.
fucking come over here and get your goddamn Baja sauce, you fucker.
Yeah, you fucking slob.
You fucking bum.
Actually, you know what I was actually pleasantly surprised about? Like last week.
Slumped ass motherfucker. You come
It
over
was
here
like
and
2
get
weeks
it.
ago. We were on our way to Sacramento, so we stopped at Jack in the Box. I asked for ranch, and she told me to actually go ahead and take as many as you need. It was on the counter. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, you're not going to charge me like $5 for every sauce I want?
Yeah. Well, you have that, like, I'm going to complain to the manager haircut, so I think that's
I do?
what they're, yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a black guy with me.
Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe there's not.
They might have felt threatened.
Maybe.
He's like one of the whitest black people.
I'm uncomfortable.
I feel like Kenny's going to kick his ass after this
Yeah,
show.
Probably.
somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. They ass kicked.
Yeah, we need to get that like built-in button where you can just keep muting Bo only.
Like a dead man switch. Like we're holding it down, and then he has the thing. We just let go of it, and it just mutes his mic.
Johnson's.
It'd probably be safer for everyone if you had that button.
Oh, man.
Not gonna dispute that fact.
Jesus
We got anything else
Christ.
going on the board there? No.
No,
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same thing. Just Val agreeing that they never brought us our food at fucking
That's
McDonald's.
Yeah,
Bunch
I've
of
never gone
bullshit.
into a fast food restaurant. Matter of fact, even when I go into the fast food restaurants, when you have the little, because that's the Carl Jr. way, basically. Yeah, you have that little
Right,
thing,
right. Which is annoying to me.
Sure,
I'm like, just fucking call me up there.
that's exactly what I was gonna say, and it always kind of slightly annoys me. Like I don't know why, but like
You-
I'm like,
you know
I'll
what it is?
Get my own shit.
You know what it is? As soon as they fucking bring your food out to you, you are the asshole.
Right.
I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I made them do some shit they didn't want to do.
Or
I'm
like
I'll just
Habit has
fucking-
the little buzzer. Some of the other restaurants have those. You take it at your table, and then it
And
goes
you
off. And
walk
you're
up.
like, fuck.
Well, I mean,
IED.
those ones I don't mind so much because
Yeah.
I'm still walking
No,
up to
I
go
know.
get it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But it's like the number on the table. It's like, dude, like I never feel good that you brought that out to me. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like you spit in my shit because you had to
this
bring it to me,
motherfucker is ordering his fucking double.
making me bring it out to him. I'm like,
Fucking
bro, there's
cunts.
not an option for me to deselect that. Like I don't,
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
wiping their hand on the garbage can, making
Yeah.
a burger and shit.
This
Fucking-
EBT having motherfucker thinks he's fancy having me bring his fucking food.
Yeah, right.
Pissing me off.
Never thought about it that way, but you had a
so
point.
he said, I was hoping I would lose weight, just not eating crap. Yep, didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't.
He
work.
said he haven't been to McDonald's in 2 years. I'm still fat.
Yeah.
Corey, yeah, it's a rough one, man. Once
yeah.
once we get up there,
The struggle is real.
I'm starting to realize it too. Like I know I'm a pretty thin guy, but like, dude, I'm starting to fill out this beer belly here pretty
I was
nicely.
gonna say
so,
the answer is beer for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not a quitter. So
The calories are starting to cling, is what
You
I'm
can
getting
exercise
at.
all you want and eat like shit. You ain't losing weight because I know that.
Yeah, you got to do the best thing that works is just trying to eat clean and like you're eating just chicken and veggies and fish occasionally. That's like
you can't even have good chicken.
Yeah. And portions. Portions are a big thing too.
Yes.
So you're having too big, and break up those meals. Like, I mean, realistically, 5 meals a day is probably the way you should do it. But they're all small, portioned out, and you just plan them out like every couple hours. Like that's probably the best way to do it. You'll drop weight. And then honestly, the best form of working out when you don't really want to do that much is walking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I work out really hard. I work out like 2 hours, right? Like usually.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's some
He
fucking
ain't lying.
insane
I
shit.
used to work out, Johnny, until my schedule changed and
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that because that's ultimately something that you want to get into, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get me and Ian, if he's still there. I don't know if he's still there. Ian and supposedly Kenny, but you know how Kenny is with showing
we'll
up.
see.
I'll add into the shit talk now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna plan out a couple different like little workout stuff. I don't know. Would you be interested in that, Corey, at all? Like a little, like we're gonna do like a easier version of it, and then we'll do crazier stuff too. But like they'll be like entry level, kind of like
Corey,
just spend some time.
They will be wearing unitards.
Would you be interested in like fucking Grim 86 workout plans? Basically, is what it's going to come down to. Because like we have plans to do like a lot of stuff based off this podcast.
A lot.
They want to do a workout thing. I want to do a tactical gear company. I want to do video game stuff. Yeah, like all kinds of shit. Right. Actually, I could go ahead and plug the video game thing right now.
Do it, yeah.
I do actually have like a video game sideshow thing that I started called the Loonies Entertainment. You guys see me wear the big smiley face that I had on my shirt. If you go to the Loonies Entertainment on Facebook and on YouTube, you can actually subscribe to that channel, and it is me playing video games.
I liked it last night or today. Did you see that?
I didn't notice that.
I just go, it came up in a request, or not a request, like you might like this.
Oh, that's fucking
And I was like,
tight.
oh, fuck, that's Jamie's thing. How did I not even know that? And I just clicked it.
Yeah, so
it.
if you want to check it out, like you can. It's me playing video games, usually with other people. So there's some commentary, there's some bullshit. Whatever.
Sometimes playing with yourself.
A lot of fucking dicking around, whatever. But I mean, it is video game related. I'm not giving you content like we're doing here, where I'm like talking to the camera. It's mostly just play. It's like let's plays and shit like that.
Right.
But
It's just Jamie playing with himself.
it'll be more shit later on down the road if anyone else wants to contribute, because the reason why I started the Loonies Entertainment was because it wasn't supposed to be just me. It was supposed to be a collective of people that were going collectivism.
Yeah.
We're going to be like a group of people that we're all going to contribute to the content for that particular channel.
Tribalism.
So,
No, that's cool. I think that's cool.
Val says keto is difficult. It only lasts as long as you do the diet. The second you eat a carb, you gain weight again.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not big on any of those, like,
Corey says he wants to go hiking.
Hell yeah. I'm not saying it's gimmicky by no means, because there's science backing it up and all that stuff. Paleo diet and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, like, just be responsible about what you eat. And like I said, portions is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people,
I believe it.
I mean, shit, bro. I could take a
just
whole
eat-
fucking plate and
You
just murder it.
You eat too much in one
Yep.
sitting, right?
So if you break it up, then your body has time to digest it. It's pretty simple.
Well, and what a lot of people don't understand too is that if you just eat slower, it takes about 20 minutes for the digestive process to start. So once the digestive process starts is actually when your body tells you that you aren't hungry anymore. So
Right.
if you eat, typically people who are overweight tend to eat very fast.
Yeah, that's why you always get stuffed. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I always have.
If you eat slower, you will feel hungry sooner into that meal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another way to portion, right? Like that's a little bit of bro science for you there. Just kind of piggyback.
So
off
eating
what you were
slower is more beneficial? Or eating
What's
faster?
that? Sorry, what was it?
So
eating slower.
Well, eating slower and also chewing your food so your stomach can digest it, right? Like, 'cause a lot of people I do it all the time. Like, we'll be like in between, like especially when we're working at the hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You eat right before, you're just like inhaling it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro.
Inhaling tacos.
Yeah. So yeah,
Dicking them down.
yeah,
Dick down some tacos, bro.
Yeah. So you eat
Like
slower.
3 bites.
You I every time one time I did a pretty badass diet and I lost like, I don't know, it was like 30, 40, 50 pounds. It was a crazy amount of weight. Like I was like 250 pounds when I started, and I got down to 200. And then I actually got
50 pounds.
Yep. And then I went on another round after I got more into working out and stuff, and then I changed my diet a little bit more, and then I got down to 183. So and that was within like a year and a half.
That's as
span.
much as I weigh right now.
Yeah, bro. And I'm like 5'10". So I mean, like, yeah. But I was working out like a motherfucker, and I was planning it all out. But what I did notice more than just the workouts, they actually end up becoming kind of fun. But what I noticed about everything was the diet, because when I was eating, it was pretty much just like I bust out the barbecue, kind of paleo, I guess. I'd just have the meat and the veggies, barbecue them all the time, or whatever I was gonna do, or steam them,
grill them up, yeah.
Yeah, whatever I do, and then it was just like, your farts don't smell. It's weird. It's a thing, man. It's weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I just eat that way. You feel way better. I actually found like it felt like eating was a chore. Like now you want to eat when you get a craving.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I gotta eat. Fuck. All right.
Like you need
Yeah.
fuel.
I mean, maybe one meal a day you'd kind of be craving it.
That's kind of how I feel all the time.
Yeah, I know you talked about that.
See, that
before.
was my hardest thing was the diet.
Yeah,
Johnny,
dude.
I
Honestly,
struggled with
when I used to smoke pot, that was what fucking used
Gave
to
you
help
the
me.
appetite?
Oh, dude, gave me an appetite like a motherfucker.
Right.
And because I'll put down fucking 8 beers in a day, like fucking no problem.
Right.
Just not hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's because you're getting calories through the beer, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Well, I think that's important though, because like what you're saying, because like if you cut down that portion size, then it'll be hard for a couple days, maybe a week. But then once you get used to that, then it ends up not being as hard, and you're not like having that craving as much. So like
Right.
I know you haven't experienced that, but I'm just
Right.
saying like that goes along with what you're saying basically, is you're just not hungry in general, and you're just doing that. But like I've noticed when I've cut back a lot, I'm not as hungry. Like it'll take a couple days to get used to that.
Yeah, well, one of my
Yeah,
my
everything can
biggest
be
things too
conditioned.
though is like keeping yourself busy, because I will eat when I get
Yeah, if
bored.
you're bored, or
yeah.
and that's another thing. If you're sitting down playing video games, or especially watching TV,
Yeah,
you're gonna
like,
just want to
snack,
eat that, because
yeah.
that's the only time I ever noticed it. Like if I want to just sit down and watch TV, it's like I gotta eat.
With some chips, popcorn,
So
something. Yeah,
if
it's
you
like
if you check that and you try not
It's
to do
hard.
that, yeah,
and eating really late at night.
go
is really
clean your
bad for me.
gun, go do something cool.
Jerk it. You
Yeah,
know.
hike like Corey was saying. Hiking's a really good one.
Yeah. He says that's what my wife needs. Her farts don't stink.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, but women farts actually smell worse than dude farts.
Oh God.
I'm uncomfortable.
Oh.
You're uncomfortable.
I've never smelled a woman fart in my life.
Oh, and are you the like they don't fart?
I think it's a hilarious concept
Yeah.
That women fart?
that they don't, like,
They say they
in
don't.
general. Like, I don't know. Farts are funny, man.
Whenever I meet a girl or lady, whatever, that like says something like that, then I'm always like, "Yeah, I was just taking a shit," and I'll start talking about that because I know it makes them more uncomfortable. And I'm all, "You ever have that happen?" After I say whatever, and then they'll be like, no. "Oh, there's a good story for you. There's a shit story for you." I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast.
All right, let's do it.
So one of my friends, he was actually the best man in my wedding when I was married, and he was like my best friend, like growing up and stuff. And I was telling him one time, I was like, "You ever have those shits where you're like sweating, like it's really brutal, and you find yourself rubbing your legs, and it's generally the ones where you need to take everything off, you know what I mean? Because that's the insane level of shit right there. So you're just like,
Oh God.
Oh my god.
and he's like, "No, what the fuck is wrong with you?" 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, he goes, "It happened." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" And he's all, "When you shit and rub your legs." He's all, as soon as I did it, I thought of you, and then I thought, he's right, I've done this before.
This is familiar.
So watch, you guys are welcome. Like, you're gonna be taking a shit, you're gonna do that, and be like, "God damn it, Johnny Doe."
Fucking rubbing your legs.
So you're welcome.
There it is.
It happens. It's a thing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we got one we're gonna talk about on the podcast later too about a shit, so that'll be a fun one for you guys. A little teaser. So
Kyle didn't even see it.
yeah, he doesn't always check it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I wasn't really expecting him to come through.
So I see that Bo's preoccupied now.
Oh, he's working on that phone there.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
good.
nobody wants to talk about politics. This is crazy.
It's
I
like
know.
It's like
ongoing-
everyone that joins our chat agrees with us, and it's like,
Right.
But they
can
don't
we get
wanna-
like one person in
or
here
to a
that's like-
degree, right? Yeah.
Yeah, to a degree.
Like
Right?
bring up anything, man. Damn, I just want to talk some shit.
How do we put this live stream in an area that is going to like disagree?
Trigger?
Like I even put it on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, That should have been
trying to trigger
I have
people.
loads of like liberal friends that should come in and be like,
See,
"Oh, well, like, what's your answer to this?" And I'll be like,
I think that's me and Johnny's problem is that we've like actually posted so much shit.
And we weeded them out.
We weeded them out.
"Yeah, but I haven't though." Is it? Well, maybe I have.
What was the
don't
one I
fucking
was
know.
talking about the other day?
I
that-
lost like 300 friends, some bullshit since we started
Nice.
doing this.
Oh,
Excellent.
Remember when
Yeah.
I posted the Nazi shit a couple years ago?
Yeah, vaguely.
It was when the whole
vaguely.
like tiki torches, like
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
Nazis.
Steven says, "I don't agree with you having a bow on today."
I
He doesn't
I
agree.
agree with you. Disagree.
Well, I posted just to show like even hate speech is freedom of speech.
Yes.
And people were not agreeing with me, so I fucking just
True.
to be a dick. I
Yeah.
posted some like it was actually like a Yahtzee thing, but it said Nazi.
Yeah. Well,
just to be a
we've
dick.
talked about that on the podcast quite a few times too. It's like just because someone else is saying something you don't like doesn't mean
Yeah.
you can use force to control them. Let them have free speech.
I
like,
had
you
like
shouldn't,
quite a
like-
few people unfriended me after that.
There's plenty of people that we don't agree with, but it's like they still have the right to say that.
Yeah, they have their own. They're entitled
You know
to
what
their
I mean?
beliefs and their opinion.
Yep.
Don't mean I have to agree with it, but
Yeah, it doesn't make you less of a piece of shit. It just
Sure.
makes it,
Exactly.
like it's like whatever.
you're
Well,
a piece of shit with an opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like everyone always wants the government to answer their fucking problems. So I had that one guy. We talked about it. I can't remember even what his. Oh, it was about the vaccine thing. And
yeah.
I put like when the whole abortion thing was coming out, I'm like, if you guys are against this, then you're against this. Like, why is it like a double standard kind of thing?
Right.
So he goes in the comments and blows up that whole thing. Well, at the end of it, he basically ended up unfriending me, and not just unfriending, but blocking, because I was gonna go message him again like a day later for something else, because I did talk to the guy before, and it was just it just ghost, like nothing. Like you
Yeah.
click his name and it was like nothing. And I was like, what a fucking pussy, dude.
Yeah, dude. So that's what pisses me off.
I didn't call him a name or nothing either. I wasn't- yeah.
We do shit like this right now. Fucking vulnerability, in the moment bullshit,
Yeah.
and you motherfuckers who want to talk shit in the comments never fucking show up to this shit. That's what fucking pisses me off,
Yeah.
dude.
We should make our next live stream. We should taunt people on the Facebook, like, you pussy ass motherfuckers.
SJWs.
Yeah, you SJW status
Fucking
fucks. Come
liberal
and fucking
fuck.
talk shit now.
Liberal Snow Lake
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Well, it's just like that.
They won't.
It was just
They
like the
won't.
other guy that came in there and said that bondage is against the non-aggression principle.
Steven remembers
What?
the Nazi memes.
Bondage, like
Yeah.
in S&M bondage.
Yeah, so he was trying
Yeah.
to say basically the comment. So it was a picture of a girl being tied up with the ball gag in her mouth, and it said it was a joke, and it was like non-aggression principle in real life or whatever, and statist in the bedroom. It was a joke, right? So, but then he goes, and his comment was like, and everything you stand for or believe, something like that, is explodes or like is failed or something like that. And I'm like, what? And he's all, yeah, that's aggression. It looks like rape, and I'm like, bro, there's plenty of people that do bondage and do weird shit,
Yeah.
but it's voluntary. So it's not against the non-aggression principle, you dumbass. Like, it was insane. I'm like,
Yeah.
so by his argument, that means that MMA, right, or any
Yeah.
kind of kickboxing or boxing or whatever, is
Wrestling,
violating. Yeah,
football.
wrestling
Shit.
is violating the non-aggression principle.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Every sport ever that has contact, which
Yeah.
is all of them, from what I understand.
Right.
Like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
So that was completely insane. So that was another one that I dealt with somewhat recently.
You should have just told him to look up nugget porn.
Nugget porn.
Yeah.
That's
You could have scarred him for
yeah,
life.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be on if they want to go look at us at Pornhub. They can find that
Yeah.
probably.
I just want to shout out, thank you, Andy, for
Yeah.
ruining.
Shout out
ruining
to Andy.
thank you for introducing us to that.
God damn it.
Yeah, Steven said he remembered your.
I just
post.
wish I
Yeah.
just wish that I hadn't learned about it until Andy, but I knew about it long before.
Yeah, well,
Unfortunately, me
buddy-
and Johnny got introduced to it at the same
from
time.
Andy. Yep.
Buddy of mine named Adam. He introduced me to it long time ago.
I mean,
not
I
not
was-
happy about it at all.
We were both expecting some dude in a bathtub with chicken nuggets.
Well,
but,
he messaged
Yeah,
it
it's not.
in a comment, like it was in part of a comment, and so we thought it was like a autocorrect or something. So we're like, whatever, let's make fun of it. So I go on and I start searching out nugget porn, and I think that I'm gonna find some like fat dude in a bathtub with like nuggets all around him,
Yeah.
something stupid, so I could just there it is, bro.
Yeah.
And then we found out that's not what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was disturbing.
Do you want to go into details?
Well, it's
Uh,
amputee basically.
Yeah,
I
quadriplegic.
feel
Yeah,
like
they have
that's-
no arms or
porn.
legs. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
They look like.
So
children.
there's that too.
That's right. That exists.
Yes.
We try to bring you the highest standard of education here.
I just feel like Andy ruined me. I'm gonna have to ruin everybody else with that.
Yeah.
You know.
We're just classy.
Well, we
people.
learned about what was it? Cuxing, right? Is that what we learned about?
Cuckold?
Yeah,
The cuckold?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the cuckold.
Yeah, we learned about that on the podcast.
Well, that's
too.
because that dude, fucking my buddy,
Same thing.
Because I called somebody a cuck. he associated that with like being a Trump supporter,
alt-right type thing.
What?
Yeah. No, yeah. Apparently, if you call someone a cuck, because to me that just is a great insult.
Yeah.
It implies sexual inadequacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
it's
watching
great.
some chick. Your chick banging some other dude.
Exactly right. So to me, it's just a great insult. But to him, he associated it with this alt-right movement, Trump supporting a Proud Boy kind of shit. Like
The fuck?
basically, what it came down to, because I said that I was a Trump supporter, and then I'm not his friend anymore.
It's okay. According to a lot of the people that have unfriended me because I'm for freedom of speech and all that shit, I'm a Trump supporter.
That's
that's what happens.
I don't understand. Like,
yeah. Oh, you're pro-gun.
I know-
you like Trump.
I know.
No.
Which he's not even.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
What? You're
Like,
pro
I
save that for the
freedom? You're against
podcast.
I
women's
have
rights?
people on my friends list that are anti-Trump. I have people that are pro-Trump, and most of the time, everybody can come together and sort of agree on one of the shit that I'm saying because I'm anti-establishment.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like, I don't know. The progressives want more legislation. The Republicans want more legislation. Everybody wants more. Everyone wants to rule me harder, daddy. And it's like, get the fuck out of here.
You bring
with
up
that
a
shit.
good point because I've actually told people this. Like, yes, the Democrats just hide their enslavement behind social programs that are supposed to help you.
Yep.
But what they actually do is keep you voting for them, because you have to keep your social programs. You have to vote Democrat.
And they use the fear tactics of like
Exactly.
you'll lose it if the other guy
Yeah.
gets in there, which never really
well,
happens.
Right, yeah. They never actually go away.
No.
Yeah, that is how the Democrat basically like kind of run their campaigns, especially.
Yeah, they operate it under the guise of kindness. We're helping you. No,
Yeah.
we're enslaving you.
And
so
then the
you
Republicans run on this like moral authority kind of
Yeah.
bullshit, where they have these like
They're-
holier than thou morals
they're
and
God-fearing
safety.
people.
It's always about safety.
Like, we're God-fearing
You
people.
gotta build that wall. You gotta do. There's always some bullshit, or gotta have the Patriot Act. We gotta spy on people. Like, there's always something that the Republicans are.
But
gonna
yeah,
push.
it's all under the guise of keeping the
Safety.
American people safe. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Safety.
Yep.
But like, I just don't understand how people don't see it for what it is.
Or their
It's-
moral authority when it comes to like the abortion or gays or whatever. That's
Yeah.
kind of But I'm saying that's what the
It is what they do.
Republicans.
It is what they do.
when they're running.
And it's always like it's always a Christian value too.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, first of all, anti-disestablishmentarianism. All right, you're supposed to separate church and state.
Right.
They're not doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's states.
And then it's all still collectivism. It's like you're
Yeah.
gonna do this for me. Why? How does you doing anything for me benefit you? There's got to be a fucking way that plays out, and it doesn't unless it's my fucking enslavement. Like there's it's so frustrating to me that people can't see that.
Yeah, you want a
See the
ruler
bigger
over you.
picture.
Well, I
Right.
think it's all the internet is a double-edged sword. It's made people lazy. Yes, there's an abundance of information out there, but people are just fucking lazy. They don't actually want to look. They get their facts based off someone's post on Facebook or Instagram.
Right.
True. They don't want to
Like,
research
yes,
it.
I see stuff on Facebook, but then I actually go and look up this
Yeah,
shit. See
look
what
up the
actually,
news article or research it.
Like videos of cops beating people up are the perfect example of that. Like, I saw one of these cops like restrain this 12-year-old girl. Oh my God, they shouldn't be doing that. And I actually go and looked up the story. She was actually beating up some like 8-year-old kid. They tried to stop her. She was resisting, so they actually had to put her on the ground. Knee on
Well,
her
what
back,
else are you supposed to do, right?
You know what I'm saying? And we've experienced this. I mean, if someone has their hands under them, it's a pain in the ass to get them out.
Yeah.
You have to use tactics,
Mm-hmm.
You might have to put your,
You might have to use a little force to
Yeah.
make someone restrained. Yeah. The cop thing is a whole nother issue, but like, as far as actually putting someone on the ground and controlling them, I've had the smallest guys or girls
Dude,
fight like a motherfucker.
The women are the worst.
And you'll be surprised like how
Yes.
hard it is.
Women are squirmy.
Yeah.
They could
And
get
then
out
you
of
use a little jiu-jitsu. And yeah.
you choke them out.
Yep.
Put them in, make them start snoring in the middle of the street.
Yeah. There's that.
That was a fun night.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are just, they go off of
I'm like
snippets.
typing the
Yeah, I
Corey
see
over
that.
here,
I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
ooh.
It's like, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Trump supporter, but Look at the media. Like, they take snippets of what he says and then twist it.
Right. Well, they do that with everyone, though.
Yeah.
Anyone so anyone on the right side, they're going to do that too because the majority of the media is all left leaning, right? So they're always going to do that.
I mean, a perfect example was his comment saying Mexicans are animals. No. He was not saying that. He was saying MS-13 are animals. And
I remember when that happened.
You know,
yeah.
and it's like...
Oh, yeah.
They like take it out of context or they tweak it how they want.
Play the whole damn clip, you know?
Yeah, there's already enough people that hate Trump. It's like, we don't need...
Yeah, we don't need more.
There was, I mean, fuck the media in general. There was that video that we watched of on our show a couple weeks ago, I think, where that lady got fucking thrown on the ground by the cop. Mm-hmm. And, like, you watch the two different articles that we watched.
Oh, yeah, it was completely
the
different.
Titles were, like, one was, like, totally pro-victim. The other one was completely anti-victim. Like,
pro-establishment.
One was one was hella statist and one was
And it was, like, honestly, just even looking at that, it's like you really have to just watch the video, and then there's still time that wasn't, like, recorded after or before that that we could see. So you still can't even make a clean judgment because both sides were completely opposite of each other, the stories. Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
Just fucking, it's... fuck the media, dude.
But then once again, that also goes into what we always talk about. It's like it's more about like the philosophy and the principles and knowing what's right and wrong more than just getting caught up in these like I call them micro issues. Everyone else thinks that they're the biggest thing in the world, but like we were saying the other day, it's like you give me the headline, I start reading it. Oh, the government's going to put this new law. Nope, against it. No, the government's going for this proposal. Nope, against it.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I honestly miss the days when the media had integrity.
I don't know if that ever existed. They more reported stories back in the day. That's what you're talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They reported stories. They weren't skewing it to their viewpoint, you know?
Right, but it still was a left-leaning establishment even then.
Yeah.
So they just it's basically what they wanted to tell. It was actually worse back then because they might have just talked about the stories, but it was only from one perspective the entire time. So we hate Fox News and all that, but like at the same time you still had another voice, right? It's a different thing.
Right.
And then off of that, all those other media outlets blew up, you know, like we have all these different like ones we bring our stories up on, not necessarily a TV channel, but like
you're talking about like Forbes and, and fucking
like
all
the Blaze and all these different ones that we've used before. I mean, then obviously libertarian
Huffington
ones.
Post.
Yeah, oh gosh. Yeah. That's a horrible one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the media is bullshit. I used to be a total like news whore, like watch all that shit all the time.
I loved reading the newspaper and all that, you know. But now it's like it's so biased. Yeah. It's like you either got Fox News or you got CNN.
Yeah, or MSNBC, which is horrible. That's the worst one.
You think so?
Oh yeah. It's all social justice shit. That's why, like over the top.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
It's
had
like
TV
when you're watching
years,
like
so I have no
so
idea.
like you go watch CNN and that's like watching like The Arrow or Flash, and then you watch MSNBC and it's like Supergirl. So if anyone gets that reference,
womp, womp.
If anyone watches that or knows that reference, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's horrible.
He says investigative reporting never happens.
Oh yeah, it never does anymore.
Oh, it doesn't more. No.
You never see that stuff.
No, it's because the reporters only get to know what they're told by legal teams, and so it's whatever makes that investigation look the most becoming to that establishment. So it's never actual journalism. They're just reporting what lawyers tell them they're allowed to know, and so there's no objectivity to it.
Well, they've proved too that like usually the story will come out like on AP or something like that, and or say Washington Times or something, right? Like or New York Times or something. Like one person will drop that story out. The other agencies don't even do any kind of like research on it. They just will pump it out and they'll just keep pushing it out. So just like how we would like find it, but we're not obviously a news organization. That's not our job or whatever. We'll find a story and we'll post it right on our page. That's what they're doing. But they're not doing it. They'll rewrite it, so it's their own.
But that's their job, and that's what they're doing. Yeah,
and their job is to tell you the news, right? And under their like guidelines, to tell you the truth unbiasedly, right? Like that's what they all have a version of that, right?
They do.
But no, they're actually just getting their story and they're pumping it out, and that's like going right along with what Corey said about the investigative reports. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then if you want any of that stuff, you kind of have to really search for it. Like you have to kind of.
Well, so we've done a little bit of that where we'll post a story and then we'll comment on it. We'll talk about it and we kind of give our own research and bullshit about a specific story. Kind of like Monsanto. We talked about Monsanto on episode number 1.
Yep.
It's still to this day one of our best episodes I think we ever did, and that one was like very informative because we actually came to the table with research to the contrary and to the agreeance of the story that we had come up with, and it was an amazing show. That is investigative
and we followed up with it
journalism.
too, right? We followed up with it when there was a new story, like something new coming out.
And then sucralose, man. So the other day, I was over at my dad's place, and one of his buddies was talking about something fucking statist, whatever. And somebody had said something about, you don't find, what did it used to be called?
It wasn't aspartame, right?
Aspartame.
It was.
Yes,
Okay,
aspartame.
it was. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
like, you look at the store, you don't find it anymore. It's not in anything anymore because they outlawed it. They this, they that. And I was like, you know why? Because it's called this now. It's called sucralose.
And then you go, look.
Yeah, straight up. And I was like, it is literally still exists. All they did was fucking rename it.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, are you kidding? I was like, no. I was like, bro, I had a whole fucking show on this exact thing. And like,
it's crazy.
Yeah. And then
rebrand it.
They were talking about, then like one of the dudes there was an ex-police officer, and he was talking about like, why don't people just fucking comply when I pull you over and that kind of shit, and like fucking
maybe you were wrong.
Me and Valerie were over there, and she like looks at me like, dude,
Val's all,
Jamie, I'm all
triggered. Why do we have to comply?
Yeah, don't.
You know what I mean? Like, what was wrong? Like, my taillight's out. Fuck you.
Well, his thing is that like how people start immediately mouthing off, and it's usually the guys that start mouthing off immediately that actually have like a warrant or they have something that is like they actually have a reason for you to pull them over. Whereas the guy who's compliant, generally you give him your license, he runs it, comes back, either gives you a ticket or don't, and you're on your fucking way.
Right.
But it's like generally the people that mouth off are the ones that are going to either.
But he wouldn't know he had a warrant when he pulled
trouble.
him over, though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So it would be cool to hear what his story was. Like,
I know, and you can't get pulled over for no fucking reason. Right. So like,
they make up them.
They did. I was in court one time, and there was this dude. Dude didn't even speak English. Like he was in there, had a translator. The judge was helping him. Everything. He walks up to the thing, and the translator is like translating for him. He got pulled over for driving without a license. Mm-hmm. There, you cannot know that he did not have a license unless you pulled him over.
Yeah, how would you? Yeah.
Judge said you can't get pulled over for no reason. Dismissed. And like the guy stood around there and was like, he didn't understand what was happening. The translator told him, like, you're good to go. Like, just go ahead and get out of here. You're done. And he like stood around like he was waiting to get paperwork or something. Like he was waiting for some sort of consequence. And then the translator's like, why are you still here? And he's like, can I go? And she's like, yeah, like you're acquitted. Like it doesn't matter anything. And then he like thanked the judge and then fucking bounced out of there. Like, dude was like literally that was a fucking racist thing if you ask me. Guy got a DWB, driving while brown, straight up. Yeah, got pulled over for no fucking reason, driving without a license, and then the judge was like, that's unconstitutional. Get out of here, you're all right. And then he did. That was it. End of story. That's fucking justice. I hate the whole system, but I mean, that's somebody did their fucking job that day.
Yep.
And it wasn't the police officer who wrote that fucking ticket.
They started, Val.
Val said they started because there was someone that got in trouble for taking photos of the cop cars on public property.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. I hate that shit. Have you seen those videos where they're like filming a cop and they start losing their shit?
Yes.
It's like, why?
If you're not doing nothing wrong, you shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, then why is the cop worried about it? Get the fuck out of here.
Val says she almost wanted me to get in there on that one about the dude who was talking like that at my dad's place about compliance and shit. No, I don't want to go up against Joe, man. Like, not that I can't take him. It's just that he's going to be a 100%
Did you guys ever see the story? I think it was in Alaska about one of the government workers like trying to like get this dude's company banned and all that because he had a Black Rifles Matter sticker.
Oh God!
What the fuck?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, she got fired. Actually, she got shamed into quitting.
Because she had a Black Rifles Matter sticker. That's a fucking meme. Come on.
Yeah, I believe he was like a contractor.
It's a company too, right? Yeah. Now I think they have a company that's actually called that.
Well, there's Black Rifle Coffee Company.
No, but I mean, I think that they actually made a company out of that.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Pretty
I
sure.
didn't know that.
I know they have shirts and everything with it on there, but I thought a company.
Yeah, but I thought it was just a fucking some company makes it. One of those OAF Nation or fucking one of those guys makes it.
Kenny has a shirt of that.
Well, it's fucking hilarious that he does.
When I first met him, that's what he was wearing.
Yeah, Corey's like, I love that judge.
Yeah, right.
Straight up, dude.
Yeah, she was actually the executive director of the State Commission for Human Rights. She resigned after the controversy.
My God.
She put it. Yeah, she actually put this guy's like,
you know what?
Picture of his car or truck or whatever on Facebook. Tried to get him like his contract like nullified.
Oh,
or whatever.
she got fired, or she tried to get him fired?
Yes.
Because he had a Black Rifles Matter sticker on his car?
Yeah.
What a fucking status,
and then blast him on social media.
Yeah, trying to basically ruin his like.
That's defamation of character. We already fucking brought that up, dude. That's some bullshit.
She thought it was like a discriminatory statement or some bullshit.
Because it says Black Rifles Matter.
Because it says black. That's how fucking ignorant white people are. Oh God, it says black on it. Ah! Like Jesus Christ, it's like
I'm racist. I'm wearing a black shirt.
Yeah, we're all wearing black shirts. We have a black background.
We're all
and
racist.
A black tablecloth.
We're racist.
Yeah.
I'm putting my
Black Knives Matter.
Black Knives Matter, dude.
This black tablecloth is beneath me.
It's pretty ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it goes back into the whole thing we started this live stream about, the whole victim mentality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to be like offended or a victim of some kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Everyone's going to try to make you not be able to do something because it doesn't work for them. And that's not fucking freedom. That's not freedom at all.
You know what I actually find kind of entertaining nowadays is that it's fashionable if you're a white female to be racist against white men. It's like, what the hell?
I'm uncomfortable.
Well, it's once again, it's basically everyone's got to be a victim of some fucking sort.
Everybody's way
That's what it is. You got to have a target for someone.
Just be careful if you're a straight white male.
Yeah, well, that is who the target is right now.
Yeah, that's debatable.
But
still, it is what it is.
Yeah. That's the narrative they're pushing in like Hollywood and everything like that. But it is what it is.
No,
I mean, when I go out and about through town, it's like I don't ever feel any weird.
I don't feel oppressed.
Yeah, and
like,
anyone that I deal with that's a different race, sex, or whatever, I don't feel like they're. When I'm there, I'm like I don't see anyone treating anyone different.
No,
like,
not at all.
I just don't see it.
You don't see it.
I don't. I've never really seen that, dude.
So here's the thing, and people may argue. Probably no one that's watching this, but like they will argue that we are 3 straight white men.
Yep.
All right.
Debatable.
Maybe that's why. All right. It is debatable that I'm white. I understand. I'm kidding.
Wow. I wasn't debating about that
part. Like they're gonna say, of course you don't see it because you are that demographic. But it's like
that's bullshit.
But it's like.
But I mean, like
for me to never see it. Ever?
Right.
Like, are you what are the odds?
Like, I've been in the bars doing security. I've dealt with every type of person there is, right? I've never freaking seen it. There's been maybe 2 times that I saw some kind of bullshit racism being said or whatever, and I'm talking 2 times maybe, and guess what happened? I got my hands on that motherfucker and threw him out of my fucking bar.
Dude,
so like, you don't fucking come in here talking like that.
I can think of one time off the top of my head that anything racial has ever happened to me. I went into the local... The Mexican club that's on Monterey Street, you know what I'm talking about, the big one, the Rio.
Yeah, the tranny one.
So I went in there one time because I knew the bartender. I went in there. I was the only white dude in there, and they looked at me a little funny. But it wasn't that nobody said anything to me. Nobody was mean to me. Nobody fucking nothing. I went in there and got my fucking bar, got to the bar.
They're like the cops in here.
Drank it, yeah, right. Drank it, fucking, and I walked out, watched some music, walked out.
Were you there for the trannies?
I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that whole thing. Are there a lot of trannies there?
You did not know that they have a tranny night at the Rio Nilo?
I did.
I feel
not
like we
know
shouldn't be
that.
saying bars names.
Yeah. Anywho,
once again, Bo.
Yeah.
No,
I only said half of the name.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I went in there, didn't feel racially. I obviously felt out of place because they were looking at me, but nobody gave a shit that I was there. I fucking drank my beer and I left.
You go into a Mexican food restaurant, it's like it is what it is.
Everyone's
right?
like,
I don't
even order off this
I've never had that shit. You know what I mean? I just haven't. At least where we're at. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that doesn't exist anywhere else.
I never
but
felt
at least where we're at.
Never felt that way ever. On the other hand, though, like I've seen it happen to other people, and I didn't like that. One time our boy AB was getting fucking kind of bullied around.
I was there that night. Yeah.
For that was the Proud Boys were there.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah.
know which one you're talking about now. Yeah.
Because you weren't there.
Yeah,
it was up to me because fucking he was security and he wasn't doing shit. I fucking got those guys to leave.
What the fuck?
I remember fucking I didn't put my hands on the dude. Like I fucking went to like, hey man, like you got to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, don't you fucking put your hands on me, kind of shit. And I was like, hey man, like I'm not touching you, kind of a thing. I was pretty fucking hammered. AB was just trying to fucking sing karaoke. Those guys all fucking turned around and they got out of there, thank God. But it was sketch, dude. But it was the only time I felt like I had to step in because I'm like, dude, don't fucking, not to my boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't
lucky
fucking
that me
be
and
like
Johnny
that.
went there.
Yeah, right.
They are lucky.
Yeah.
As a mother, dude, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Fuck someone up. I don't give a shit.
Because I've heard people call people racial names before, but that's not like what initiated it. You know what I mean? It was like,
Right.
oh, they're already getting in trouble, or something's about to go down, or they're in the middle of it, and they'll drop an N-bomb if it's a black guy. They'll say something about a Mexican if it was whatever.
Right.
I've heard that before, but that's not what initiated
started
it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just
and then guess what? Then that guy turns into a bigger douche, and then it's like now everyone because before they'll be like, oh, who's the one at fault, and then they hear that guy yelling that shit, and now it's all of a sudden that guy's a total douchebag.
Yeah.
Then you'll have the whole crowd in the place, which is total free market. All have your because I've had this multiple times in security where like all of a sudden you have the whole crowd back you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally.
They're like, I don't think so.
It's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. And it's like as long as you're doing what's right, and that goes back to what we do on the show. It's like try to stay true to like what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that the racism stuff that's happening is all basically comes out of that whole like because of the SJW stuff, because of you're putting people in a corner, and then of course they're going to end up trying to back out of it, and then when they do that, it spawns other things. So like a good person that would get backed into the corner would be like, okay, fuck these people, I'm going to unassociate, right? But then these other ones, like they have to always be right because everyone has to be fucking right. So then they double down and go, no, my white pride is hurt, and my white, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, that's not what we need to do. You as an individual person, that's cool.
That is not a productive area of conversation.
Now you're talking about race, which is just fucking tribalism, bro. No one could pick where they were fucking born. No one could pick, what race they were born into or what sex they were or whatever their preferences are. Like, you can't do that. Like, that is not like how it works. You know, it's fucking crazy that people get stuck in that. Like,
we're all Americans.
That's why I always say, like, when somebody walks up to me and starts going, "I'm an Irish American" or whatever it is, right?
Like,
whatever. I'm like,
Ireland?
First off, you're boring as fuck. Like, that's what you're gonna talk about. Like,
you got nothing else?
Yeah, race is like the last thing that I give a fuck about. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid.
Like, I think that is the stupidest shit, though. It's like, unless you were born in Ireland and you actually immigrated over here and became a U.S. citizen, then okay, you could say you're Irish or American. If you're fucking born here, you're American.
But whatever, it does still to me. It doesn't.
I don't call myself an Italian American.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's weird. If you said that to me, I'd be like, you're weird.
That's strange.
Yeah. I've heard you talk about, I'm Italian. I'm whatever.
I have talked about it. Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean,
and that's when the conversation comes up, right? But you're not going up there, hey, I'm Jamie, I'm Italian American. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's not like my defining characteristic.
Like, I would be curious to see, like, do like people in like Britain go like, I'm black British or I'm white British or like what
they might. I don't know.
I mean, like, it seems kind of feels like
it just doesn't seem like something you should open with. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on,
it's not a strong opener.
Ease into it a little bit.
Yeah.
They call them icebreakers for a reason. Yeah. That's not an icebreaker. Yeah. That's a fucking.
That's just coming.
That's a closer.
And you'll hear I'll hear. So in San Jose, I've heard this a few times. Where are you from? And I'm like, San Jose, and they'll be like, no, what race are you or whatever. I've heard that a few times.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like. First off, I just do consider myself white.
You look like a white guy, yeah.
But like what the fuck? What does it matter?
Yeah,
like
that's a
what
dumb
does
question.
it matter? Like I've had that, and I've heard people say it to other people.
The only time I've ever asked that before, if I like for whatever reason, if I got curious and I couldn't place it, because like sometimes you can tell, right? But then also like if it's just because I thought maybe I could relate. That's the only reason I've ever.
But it definitely wasn't your opening line.
No, fuck no.
I've heard it before. Like, where are you from? Like, there'll be an
Asian
Asian lady. Where are you from?
I say, where's your family from? Where does your family originate? That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that sounds a little bit less aggressive than like where are you from? Like fucking Fresno. Yeah. Like what the fuck? Like
I don't know, man. I just don't. I think that's just like when people are doing that for small talk. I think that's so stupid.
Do you remember? Short Circuit?
Yeah.
Vaguely, yeah.
You remember the second one at all?
No, not as much.
All right, so in the second one, you know how he had an Indian owner?
Yeah, Johnny Five's.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like the technician guy that drove
right,
the
guy with the
van.
glasses.
Yeah.
He's like, talking about he has his Indian accent and everything, and one of the white guy that's with him is like, where are you from? And the guy's like, Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's
Fuck
like,
yeah.
yeah, like fucking.
I came from in
fucking
between my
Chicago,
mom's
bitch.
legs.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Man? What does it matter? Like, really?
I just feel
Yeah.
like if someone ever asked me, I'm like, America.
America.
Yeah, there you go.
America. Yeah, fucking Chicago. Like, it was like, I watched it when I was older, and I was like, that's awesome.
No, I've actually had it before when someone's asked me that. I swear, like, not even being a smart ass or anything, just because I'm not even thinking that way. So
Yeah.
someone asked me that, and I'll be like, well, I was from San Jose, but I'm from Gilroy now. And
Okay.
then they're like, no, I mean, like, what's your ethnicity and whatever. And I'm like,
That's dumb.
okay, really? This is the question you're going to ask me off the get-go? Like
I just kind of feel like it's kind of irrelevant. I've never, I'm probably mixed with a bunch of shit like Italian, German, Scandinavian, Native American. Like, I've never been to Italy. I've never been to Germany. I've never been to Scandinavia. I've never lived in those
been
places.
the fuck all over California, though.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
I'm like,
So I'm a
if
Californian.
anything, I'm Californian,
Yeah.
if anything.
Yeah.
I'm not
no, 'cause
any of those other things.
I'm French, Dutch, Czech, and Italian. Yeah, I think those.
So
those
you
four.
ducked out of the French check.
Freaky
so you didn't
D-
get,
Yeah.
have to pay.
French, Czech.
You
Get out of there.
the
Yeah.
freaky deaky Dutch.
Yeah, of course.
Fucking
All right, I
doctor,
feel
you-
like we gotta get ready for our podcast right about now.
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah.
About 15
Do we have any
minutes.
other
Aaron should
things?
Show up here. No, not really. Corey said he didn't have a problem that the kid died. I don't know what that's in reference to.
What the fuck?
What story were we talking about?
I don't know. This was a while back.
Was a kid that
We
did it?
kind of
Oh, we were talking.
Yeah, he was a while back that he said that. Corey, if you're still there, if you want to elaborate on that,
Yeah, that's kind of
We'll wait.
I'm
weird.
not quite
like,
sure what
you could
that
take
was in
that
reference
totally
to.
different ways out of context.
Well, yeah, that's why we're finding out the context.
I'm like,
But other than that, I mean, this is a fucking. We did over 2 hours. About
Yeah.
2 hours 15 minutes right now. Pretty good live stream there. Bo
Good.
only fucking up a couple of times.
hey, that's a win.
It is,
Oh,
man.
man.
It's really the most I could ask for.
Sure.
The shit that usually
Or
comes out of my
expect.
the shit that comes out of my
Expect, yeah.
mouth usually. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's
He was
true.
a little bit
That's
tame.
true.
I did behave somewhat.
You did. We went out on a limb here, letting you on the live stream, and you did not disappoint.
We want to give him that while we're waiting, and we can. So we can
Oh yeah. One more time, guys. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Pornhub, Patreon, and now Spotify. Please
check out the merch.
go there, make a playlist, add that shit into your library, be a cool person, buy some fucking merch, get yourself laid. Trust me, it works. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
story,
Corey's
bro.
not coming
You might
back
wanna
to
try
us,
it.
so.
Yeah, I might want to.
Well, you might want to try
Womp
it.
womp. Yeah.
I can't deny that shit.
Oh, shit. Oh, here we go. Oh, Steven.
Jamie, what's your game? Steven, the Loonies Entertainment or the Loonies Int? Loonies. I didn't do with the Y. Actually, I'll drop it in the chat for you real quick right here. 1 second.
I thought you were gonna drop an album. Like I got 5 on it.
Nah, dude.
The Loonies. You joining a rap group, Jamie?
I'm dropping an album.
You're joining a rap group.
Gonna put it in the chat part. Is what you're gonna do?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes, I am. See if that comes up.
Oh, nothing.
Damn.
I think it's because it's all
Space.
one word. See what we did there.
There.
Nope.
What the hell was that guy?
I don't know. Maybe I'm shadow banned too,
I'm like,
man.
wait, who the hell is that guy?
It's funny. There's like
Click on the thing that says "Show 11 More" at the bottom. It might have you.
down
You're
here.
following your thing. Yeah,
Is it
maybe.
About Juan.
Oh, yeah, there
Looney,
it is.
Boom.
Get High stoner.
I forgot that it's called the Looney Bin.
Oh.
My bad. Yeah, Looney's Entertainment on Twitch, I guess, is what it is. But
Oh.
here we go. This is the
Corey came back too when you're done with
gaming
that.
channel. Corey said, my father-in-law didn't care that Stephon Clark died over someone saying he broke out a window.
Huh?
Stephon Clark. I don't remember that one.
Search it real quick.
That's
Okay.
what I think.
Copy his old name and yeah.
Stephon Clark.
Let's see.
Oh.
No charges in Sacramento police shooting of Stephon Clark.
Oh, I remember reading about this one.
March 2nd. This happened recently.
They thought he had a gun, but it was supposedly his cell phone. Yeah, he was only carrying his cell phone.
Yeah.
So they lit him up.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he broke into someone's house and he was coming out of it. Is that what?
Shot and killed unarmed black man in his grandmother's backyard last year will not face criminal prosecution. So the two officers will not face it. Blah blah blah. String fresh outrage. The city roll. Okay, yeah. So he was in his grandmother's backyard. They shot and killed him, and they are not going to be.
So they suspected him of breaking into someone's house.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
No, he was breaking in. Supposedly they. So they said the suspect that was breaking car windows, blah blah blah. A helicopter spotted a man.
Routine vandalism complaint.
They spotted a man in the nearby backyard. Told officers on the ground that he had shattered a window using a toolbar. Officers on the ground entered the front of Clark's grandmother's home and saw Clark next to the home. I guess somebody said that Clark was the same man who had been breaking windows and was tracked by police and helicopters. They said that when he was confronted in order to stop and show his hand, Clark fled to the back of the property.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that part before. It's like, yeah, we don't like the cops and all that stuff, but you still comply when someone with a gun is telling you to do something.
Well, okay, so I feel like this is already making me uncomfortable saying this, but like I feel like us to say that as white people, it's a little easier. I can see why people of a different skin tone might not
but
feel
I mean, I've
so
heard
readily easily available.
I've heard plenty of
black
guys on YouTube and stuff too saying the same thing. It's like, you just do it so you don't, you know what I mean? You're making it worse on yourself by
you're
running
not
away.
taking that
It doesn't
risk.
matter what race you are. If you're going to fucking run from the cops, they're going to come after you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Fuck them, first off.
I mean, one thing I was always taught, when you get pulled over, you have your hands on the
Oh,
steering
shit. He
wheel.
says there's a video.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They released the body cam footage, I believe.
But, once again, you give the power to the state, they can fucking execute you. So. But they actually tracked him. It looks like this is the infrared stuff, right?
Yeah.
The helicopter.
Show me your hands. Gun, gun, gun. Oh, fuck.
They're lighting him up on the ground.
It was that fast.
Well, I guess he turned around. It was dark, so he turned around and had his cell phone. But it's like, dude, drop it,
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
They're blocking something out over there.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I mean,
it's a bad thing, dude, nonetheless.
It sucks that he lost his life. But
Okay, so I mean, what the fuck? Go back there real quick. Oh, he's going over.
So basically, they tracked him back to his grandma's house, and then, I haven't seen this at all.
And it seems like they told him multiple times to show him the hands, and
Yeah, you could see it, like
he didn't comply.
Yeah.
Still fucking.
But still, here's the thing: you're running away and you're yelling, "Show me your hands," and you start shooting him. Well, I'm against it anyways. The police are fucking statist. What?
Did I hear someone knocking?
I have no idea.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm against the fucking state, so
Jesus Christ, Corey, that's fucking brutal, bro. That's rough.
Yeah.
22 years old this kid was. Jesus Christ. No fucking need for that.
No.
Even if he was the one doing the fucking vandalism, no fucking need for that shit.
But I mean, you also got to look at it from the fact that those cops want to go home to their families at night too. So I mean, it was dark out.
Well, they train them to be scared too.
Yeah.
Like cops back in the day wouldn't have done that shit.
Well, do you know it depends on the department too? Like, so you could have, there's two different types. Like, you have to be like, it has to be a direct threat for you to pull your weapon, but it could also be an implied threat. It depends on the department.
Yeah, well, they each have their
a direct threat is like you have to be like pointing a gun at me or even almost firing at a cop for them to be able to return fire. Where the implied threat is like, okay, the guy's holding a gun.
Well, if you're holding a gun, their guns are out for sure.
But they can't fire so he would have to have a gun.
No, I think if you aim a gun at them, they're killing you.
No, aiming is different.
Aiming is different.
If he's holding is what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
aiming is a direct threat, but if they're just holding it, some departments are not allowed.
You're allowed to have a gun, right? Like
so if he had a cell phone in his hand because he's running, how would you point a cell phone at someone?
Well, I think, dude, I've talked about this before. I think
I haven't watched a video.
You make a threatening gesture towards a cop, you're getting your ass fucking shot. You could point at them aggressively, and you're fucking dead because they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a gun," and they're gonna fucking shoot you. That's how I think of it. It's crazy.
I mean,
man.
I hate to say it, but
they're trained this way too.
Just comply.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. It's
yeah,
the
I'm
thing
all
to do.
about fuck that shit, but I mean, like at the same time,
I mean,
if I get pulled over,
better
I'm trying to be
yeah.
alive
Yeah.
is the thing.
It's better to comply and be alive and then deal with it after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So saying the whole thing about like the white and black thing, I've literally had cops take me out of my car. I wasn't resisting or anything.
Yeah.
Fucking give me the riot act at the back of my car, like fucking flex on me and shit like that.
Really?
In San Jose, I actually had a complaint against them, and it turned out that they actually had complaints against them as well. So who
No
knows?
shit,
yeah.
huh?
But I mean, like I've had it. You know, I'm a white guy that has tattoos and looks like a punk rocker. They didn't believe I lived in the neighborhood I lived in, and yeah, I've faced it. You know what I mean? I know a lot of other white guys that have been beat up by cops.
Yeah. Steven
So-
says, "Yeah, they did, Johnny, back then. Just no cameras."
Yeah, there was no cameras back then.
Like
dude.
you're talking about how being scared, and they wouldn't have done that back then. I think
Oh,
is what
yeah.
he was commenting on.
Yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, they still did. There just wasn't
Yeah.
any recording."
yeah.
Easier to get away with it
Yeah.
back then.
I mean, they weren't trained, but see, back then they weren't trained the same exact way as they are now. Now they're all trained to like shoot at anything. It's the same thing with what we started the show with. They're the victim, right? So in their mind, that they don't want to be the victim. They're always scared. They're always, they're always just freaked out about every goddamn fucking thing. We've done like security straight up, where I see cops like freaking out about everyone else around them, and we're chilling in the crowd like dealing with the same thing. We have the same threat on us and all
Yeah.
that, and we don't have weapons, and we're dealing with people hands on and all that crap. And it's like, I've been in there. I've physically helped cops numerous times cuff guys for assaulting people. I've actually helped people do that. Cops do that.
Right.
So I had to because of what I was
held
doing.
out back 20 people by myself.
Yeah.
Angry drunk people.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the nights I helped detain a guy. But
yeah.
I mean, like, I've been a part of this whole thing, and it's like, it's pretty crazy that they get so fucking scared, but yet they got guns and a radio and all this crazy shit, and I'm standing here like, all right, let me handle this shit.
Yeah, but they're also like in their defense, this is a
Yeah.
little, because I still do support.
Come
the
on,
fucking
status, let's go.
It is, but it is like they are also in a position of authority and almost universally hated by everybody.
You got a point.
Yeah,
They are,
fuck
like,
that.
I can
I hate
see
that statement
you,
completely.
You wearing a security shirt, absolutely, that puts you in a position of authority, and people automatically
So,
don't like you because of it.
I will also say that, like, I've also been in the same situations where I just wearing plain clothes, dealing with it, and like helping restrain someone at a bar and stuff like that.
But
and they
that's
still
still-
kind of respected and listened to what I had to do because I was in the right.
But it still puts you in a position where other people are not going to like you because you are doing something lawful. You know what I mean?
Well, stopping someone from getting a fight, I think law is defined by state.
Honestly, I would argue that
sure.
security is liked even less because then people have the mentality, oh, you're not a fucking cop,
Yeah.
Who are you,
I'm representing this private property is who the fuck I am,
I'm the
motherfucker.
one that's going to fuck you up if you don't leave.
No, it's you're representing private property.
I know, I'm being a jackass.
So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The whole thing with laws and all that, I'm against all laws. All laws are fucking wrong. I'm an anarchist. It's a statism. There
Corey
could be
said-
rules.
Corey said he got pulled out of his car by his head by a cop.
There you go.
He didn't know he had a fishing knife behind his seat and forgot about it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man,
Yeah,
dude.
Fucking
I
little
know a
shit
bunch
like
of
that.
people that have been in the hospital because the cops fucking light them up. But matter of fact, I was actually contacted this week by a lady that was assaulted
Yes,
and
I remember that.
beat up by cops and broke her leg and refused medical attention. I can't get into the details because I got to
Yeah.
talk to her
Yeah,
again.
I was gonna say,
but
let's
like
not-
the basic
we're not
basic
gonna get-
concept of it is like it happens. It's a white lady.
Yeah.
So it's not about race. It's
And
about
they
authority
actually-
fucking trips. Now, do some races get it worse than others? Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying it's fucking this elitist, statist fucking attitude that I am a law enforcement officer, so you will respect my authority. And it's like, who gave you, hold on, who the fuck gave you this magical goddamn fucking power? A majority mob rule, corrupt, evil system gave you this illusion of power. And now everyone has to respect it and, oh, cops are awesome. No, you're a fucking piece of shit. And this is me talking, not these guys. You're a piece of shit if you don't honestly think that, like, I have this power granted by, like, some magical power. Like, who the fuck gave that to them? Like, I didn't give him no fucking power over me.
Yeah,
no one else
nobody
gave him a fucking power over you. But yet, everyone's like, oh, we got to respect the cops and all that. It's like, no, I respect them in the sense that I'm going to comply with them so I don't get killed or hurt.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, no. And I already live, like, if you watch the show, you already know we all live by a certain code. It's non-aggression principle, self-ownership. We have all these, like, morals and principles that we live by, and we govern ourselves. And most people do self-govern themselves most of the time because you don't have, obviously, a law enforcement officer standing over your shoulder. And I do just fine doing that, you know? I don't have any fucking problems. But now all of a sudden you have this whole, like, mentality of, like, these elite people are better than you. They call us fucking civilians. Like, they think they're better than us. So it's just the rhetoric that they use alone. And I'm going home to my family. Well, guess what? Maybe the other person wanted to go home to their family.
True.
So I have a fucking problem with authority and all that crap in the first place. And if everyone could just self-govern themselves, we can all take care of ourselves. Like, why does it have to be all that shit? Like, to me, it fucking pisses me off. Because people buy into that lie.
It's all statism. So Corey said he told me to keep my hands on the dash. I didn't get why, but found out the hard way. Why? Steven said he got pulled out by gunpoint. He says, but then again, I had a stolen prop in the back of a van. I had stolen prop. Property maybe. I don't know. Corey says property.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So Steven,
maybe
maybe
confirmed it.
That was sorry about that, Whammy.
Yeah.
But
Whammy.
Whammy.
There is that. Yeah,
Shit.
It happens. And you know, and I don't blame them for acting the way they act because that's what they're conditioned to, and that's what they're doing. You know, they're trained to do, and that's what they've society's let them believe that they have this magical power over us. So I'm not really blaming them outright, but they should be smart enough individuals to like look at what they're doing. Like that is their job. Like I don't understand how you don't look at what you're doing and think that's not immoral.
Well, look at the type of people that become cops. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them were the jocks in high school, the bullies. It's like, you know, or they're actually the ones that got bullied and they just want, you know.
Yeah. And I would say out of the cops.
All over the place.
And I have friends that are cops, so I would say about half of the ones that I've met are cool and the other half aren't. But it's still like, okay, who's paying for it? Taxation is theft. So you're already in the wrong just there without even having to get into all the other crap I was just yelling about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's working for any type of state-run union or organization or government, any program, whatever the fuck, you're already wrong. You're already making money off of my stolen money, and there's already a fucking problem I have with that.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you got a government job and it's fucking paying for you to do whatever, fucking go you, but it's only a matter of time until we fucking destroy all that shit because none of that shit should exist. You should not be getting paid with money that is forcefully taken from me.
Yep. Absolutely. And on that note, we have to get ready for the podcast now.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
Make sure you check us out on our various social medias, Spotify included. That's the one we're super excited about. This has been another installment of the Grim 86 Freedom First live stream. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you guys again next time.
Bye.
Bye.